Let me make sure. Yeah, we are live. Hello, everybody. Welcome to tonight's program. This is Ultimate Black Man Radio. I am Gabriel, along with my co-host and good brother Frank. It's been a minute, man. How you doing, Frank?
I know. I'm good, brother. Good evening. I'm glad to be back, man. It's been a while. We had to get our schedules together and all that. But it's good to be back.
Yeah, we in this thing tonight. Did y'all get a lot of snow out there in that DMV area, man? Did y'all get hammered real bad?
Nah, man, we didn't get nothing. Like it was crazy. They thought we were gonna get a lot of snow, so they shut us down. Because I work in the federal government, so they shut the
Yeah.
whole federal government down like around 1 o'clock that day. Had everybody running home, trying to take care of everything, and then we got maybe like an inch or two. Man, it was horrible. So.
Man, that's
Yeah.
trash.
Yeah.
Man, y'all went to the store. Y'all got the milk. See, in Memphis, an inch or two would have shut the city down. Like, we freak out. Like, we'd be like, oh
Yeah.
my God, it's snowmageddon. It'd be like half an inch outside.
Yeah.
But, man, that's good. Glad everybody's safe, man. How was the new year for you, brother?
Man, it was good, man. I didn't do too much, man. I just spent time with the family, wife and kids and all that.
Yeah, man.
But I had a good time.
That's what's up, man. Happy New Year to you and the fam and everybody listening. Of course, if you're new here, this is Ultimate Black Man Radio. This is a channel for me, for black men, by black men. Of
Mm-hmm.
course, this is a safe space for black women, but my focus is black men and getting black men uh, some game, whether it be relationship advice, financial, spiritual, whatever it may be. I'm just trying to help you out. Shout out to Lady Nicole stopping by. How you doing, man? Good, always good to see Miss Lady Nicole.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Devin. Appreciate you, Devin. Always sharing my stuff. Smiling 1960. Peace. Good evening to you. Hey, Miss V. How you doing today? How you doing? Pretty Priscilla Pink. Good to see you. Good to see you. Um, again, I plan on starting the Toxic Femininity series next month around Valentine's Day. I got a special logo that is being made for this. Like, I'm letting y'all know, I'm going in on the toxic femininity. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Research is starting to pick up, and I'm letting you know that all of 2020, Ultimate Black Man Radio will be ringing the bell for toxic femininity. I just posted a story on my Facebook page. Excuse me, guys. Where she was giving a story of her mom basically hating on her. She wanted to go to college, and her mom was upset that she was saving money to go to college. See, I'm gonna share stuff like that because we always hear about what these men doing. We never talk about how toxic these moms are. And the reason I think it's so important for young black men to understand that is a lot of black men don't understand why the women they're trying to date and pursue are the way they are, and they can't help it because their moms screwed them over. I almost cussed, but I caught myself. Chantel would be proud. Um, their mom screwed them over. So we kind of gotta trace back the roots of toxic femininity, and how us as men can avoid it. That's why I'm doing that series, and I'm gonna bang the drum as loud as I can. And we gonna get on some of these sorry women out here
Mm-hmm.
that aren't productive, especially in black society. So y'all be looking forward to that. And I got a couple recorded videos that I've been working on. I'm still learning how to edit in LumaFusion. It's giving me the blues, but I'm getting there. So just stay tuned for that. But in any regard, I'm so glad everyone is here. I know everybody's doing YouTube tonight. I know I wanted LAR to come on. Hopefully he swings by, but he is doing something, and we know our brother Tony Maceo over at Pirate Strategy is doing something right now. And I think O'Shea's gonna do something. Everybody's doing something. It's wintertime. Everyone got something to say. But we're
Mm-hmm.
here. We're
Mm-hmm.
here. And I want to talk about something interesting, Frank. If you follow me on Facebook, and if you haven't, what are you doing? Again, it's Gabe Bell. Just go follow me over there. I post very interesting things, and a lot of my posts have been getting a lot of traction, a lot of comments, and everything. I posted something about submission, and I had men come on the post to try to debunk it. I'm going to read the post here, and we'll kind of go into detail about it. Let me find it here. Shout out to everybody listening and watching on Facebook. Let me see what's going on with my people over on Facebook. Vernon, yes, Mark, Monique. Hi, everybody that's listening on Facebook. How y'all doing? Good to see y'all. Let me see. Where's that post? It was not too far back. Hang tight. A lot of folks didn't like it. They did not like what I. Hello, I am Alpha. How you doing? Hey, there, Chantel, you in here? What's going on?
Yeah, Chantel was here. What's going on?
Hey, Chantel, what do you do? My sweet little Chantel. I call her Sunshine Girl. A little Sunshine Girl in the building.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. I am looking for it. It's toxic femininity. Niggas got mad. All right, here we go. I said, brothers, if a woman is truly feminine, her demanding that you pay the bills is not toxic femininity. It costs to be the boss, and true submission from a woman is earned, not given. And one of my more infamous trolls commented on my page and said, "You sound like a female."
Mm.
And he goes on to say that so basically you got to pay for submission. Is that what you're saying? And I said, of course, submission costs, brother. Why else should a woman submit to you if you can't provide? And he said, submission is free. I've been on both sides of the fence. Stop getting your rhetoric from women. He goes on to say, unlike you, Mr. Femininity Influencer, I have actual experience with women. You don't need to pay shit for them to F you constantly, cook for you, clean for you, wash your clothes, etc. It's either in them or it ain't. He then goes on to say, she can submit to Pistol Pete and have his babies with no problem. A submissive woman is taught that from the jump. Your ability to pay her bills doesn't determine submissiveness. It does not determine submissiveness.
We already started 2020 off on the wrong foot.
Already started it off on the wrong foot.
Ain't learned nothing yet.
So that's where we are. And I see I'm going to have to start talking about this more. Tony Maceo, he said something that really kind of stuck out to me. And I guess I never looked at it this way until he said it. He said that it all costs. Yeah, that's it. That's him, Shantino. He's funny. He said it all cost. It all cost. He says you gonna pay for it in the beginning. You gonna pay for it on the back end. But in whatever regard, you're gonna pay. So, Frank, you heard what I just read, and you're married. I ain't married. I'm out here single. I know I just went through an interesting breakup, but you know, I'm single and ready to mingle out here in the streets. You know what I'm saying? I ain't married. You are, Frank. That's why I'm glad that you're on the channel, because you can provide a perspective my big ass can't. So, Frank, what do you say about that? Does submission cost? And if so, like, how do you pay for submission? Can you get submission without paying? How does that work?
Well, I'm not sure who the brother is. I don't really know him, but I would say his comment and his his position is it's dumpster juice, man. It's juice at the bottom of the trash can. You know what I mean? I would say this, when you're younger, like when you're a young brother, we've all had women in our lives who have cooperated with us, where we didn't really have to do anything for them. You know what I mean? But that's us in a lower level of manhood and a lower level of thinking. But when you become a man and you start thinking about legacy and you start thinking about family and thinking about things that are important to you and lineage and things of that nature, you know what I mean, you understand that the type of woman that you need in your corner, you know, you have to have a prerequisite for that woman. Just like how, you know, in your life you have prerequisites for everything. When you go to school, I can't get into college unless I have prerequisites. I have to graduate um, high school. I have to have a diploma. I have to, you know, I have to do all these things first before I can take the next step. So when you get to a certain level in your life and you want that next step and you want a really thoroughbred feminine woman, you know what I mean? I don't really get into it with these brothers because we're not talking about the same type of female. So sometimes initially, like, I get upset and I want to go in on them and crush them, but then I'm like, nah, Frank, you got to fall back, man. You got to let them have it because we're not talking about the same level of female. You know, they're talking about thotties. You know, they're talking about, um, you know, hood rats. So for the type of women that they associate with and that they want, okay, I understand that you don't need to do nothing for her. You know what I mean? She'll do whatever for you, and that's cool. But when you get to a certain level, when you start thinking about, like, you know, a real official feminine woman, you know, you understand that in order for you to um, command respect and to command a certain level of treatment from her, you have to be able to do two things. You have to be able to provide for that woman, and you have to be able to protect that woman. And you know what I mean? Because femininity has to be protected. You know what I mean? It has to be provided for in order for it to flourish and be what it needs for you to be as your wife, as the mother of your children, as the keeper of your household. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, so all those things come with it. You know what I mean? You have to do your part. What is she submitting to? Like, you know, shout out to let me go back and, you know, let me start over. But I just want to say shout out, peace to everybody in the chat. I know Nicole is here, the beautiful, incomparable Nicole Michelle over at the Inner Beauty Movement. You know, Chantel, everybody in the chat, man. Peace to y'all. And
And let me go on record and say this. Nicole has been given the blues by certain content creators.
mhm,
If you come over here trolling and are wanting to argue, and anybody that's an enemy of hers is an enemy of mine. I'm gonna go on record and say that that woman has been nothing but kind to myself and Frank
right,
and the manosphere. Any nigga that come over here trolling and any nigga that call themselves not liking her, you blocked on sight. I'm not arguing with no niggas about that either. I'm just
facts,
gonna block you and
facts.
I'm just gonna
Listen,
move on.
you know,
As
we
black
we
folks, we're in too critical of a time. A lot of
right,
people think I just do this for fun and shits and giggles. No, we're in too critical of a time. They're saying by 2050, black folks will have 0% wealth, just zero
right,
wealth
right,
across the board. And you got Negroes over here harassing a middle-aged divorcee, saying she's not teaching femininity when she's doing all that she can to pour back into us as men. She's pushing and co-signing men like myself and like Frank. And what we reward her with is spitting in her face, kinds of B's and H's. I'm not associating with no content creator that's co-signing it, that's doing it. And if you come over here hating on her, this ain't the spot to do that. So I just wanted to go on record and say that. Go ahead, Frank.
right. Now, I'm with you, and I'm gonna share that same sentiment, man. Over here, Ultimate Black Man Radio, we tag team it over here, even though Gabe kind of runs the show, but we do it together. You know what I mean? Femininity will be defended at all costs, by any means necessary over here. So, like my man Gabe said, you come over here with that garbage and that nonsense, you know, whether it be to Nicole or to anybody else in the chat, you come over here acting reckless, you know, we're gonna handle you, you know, we're gonna get you up out of here. So we're gonna block you, whatever. So just know that going in. You know what I mean? Know that if you do it, you got one time to do it, you up out of here. The shadow realm is wide open. Um yeah, but back to what I was saying, um, it costs, man. You know, anything that's valuable costs in life. You know what I mean? Anything that's valuable, you have to have certain prerequisites in order to get it. You understand what I'm saying? I don't care what you look at that's valuable. You might say, oh, you know, my house is valuable. You have to have certain things in order to get that, to qualify for it. You know what I mean? You got to have a 620 credit score. You got to have income. You got to have a stable job. You have to have all these things in order to get the best possible situation, you know, for you. So it's just naturally understood, man. And anybody that has a problem with that, they just have a problem with, it's really an internal problem, and they don't really want to look in the mirror and just open up to the fact that, look, they don't have it, or there's no woman in their life that's worthy of receiving it. So they'll just argue against the that sentiment.
And I'm glad you said that, Frank, because see, like you just said, if you're gonna put your money where you think, like where you see your value. And I have niggas on here talking about they won't pay for a $50 date. They said my $65 curve was too much. They saying this, they saying that, oh, Pookie get it free, Ray Ray get it free. Maceo did a good breakdown of how he explained how they don't get it free. But they talk about how all the other niggas get it free, so I should get it free too. But these niggas will invest in anime conventions, video games.
Right.
They'll invest into all this stuff. And I'm saying this as a gamer. In fact, I'm playing Red Dead Redemption 2 right now. The game is amazing. I'm saying this as a gamer, someone who's into tech and computer and technology. These dudes will sit here and say they're not going to do this for their woman, they're not going to do that, but they don't mind blowing money on things that have no return on investment. My thing is this. I understand, I've gone on record and I've said this. You don't pay bills for a chick that's not your wife.
Right.
Point blank, period. I don't care how serious y'all. I'm not paying no bills for a chick that's not my wife. It's paying bills is a wife privilege. You earn that privilege when I marry you. So I'm not saying you ought to be out here paying out for a credit card debt and putting her through school. I know some of you goofy thong sandal wearing niggas, y'all put these chicks through school. I know niggas like that. They go broke, putting her through nursing school and getting her certifications and certificates. And then when you basically build to be, and when she break bad and leave you, oh, you just so scorned. And a lot of you niggas is just mad because your high school crush. I don't understand how these 40-year-old niggas are still crying and heartbroken over some chick that curved them 20 years ago. Like that kills me more than anything. Like these niggas got turned down by, the popular chick in school, and they're just so crushed and devastated that they have these mindsets. And this is not, and you only see this over in Black society. Like, of course, you have Red Pill, you have Rollo Tomasi and Coach Greg Adams and all those cats. But you never see them focus on like the money aspect like a lot of these dudes do. Everything is centered around money and what they don't want to do. And my thing is this, and I'm not shaming men to have kids. If you are a Black man, I have the book, Men on Strike. I've read the book. She has excellent points on why men shouldn't be married, Black or white. But if you're not wanting to build a future, if you're not wanting to build a legacy, that's cool. That's fine. Don't shame the other men that do. And just because your mammy didn't desire or want anything better for herself doesn't mean these women should walk around wanting the same.
Right.
I know your mom's, with her little sorry ass. She grew you up in your Section 8 and she fed you your noodles and hot sauce with American cheese, government cheese in most of you niggas' cases. That's what she fed you niggas. And she had a new nigga over there that you refer to as uncle every 2 weeks. I know your mom didn't want any better for herself, and that's fine. Don't shame these women for wanting more for themselves. I know your mom's, she kept you raggedy and you had holes in your shirts and your shoes. Just because these women don't want their future kids walking around like that doesn't mean she's a gold digger. And truth be told, there's nothing wrong with being a gold digger. Yes, I said it. There's nothing wrong with a woman being a gold digger. By nature, women are attracted or they seek out the best provider, even in nature.
Right.
When in nature, and for instance, let's just take moose for instance. They when they are mating elk, deer, they have to fight. The
Right.
men have to fight, and they have to prove to the woman or to the person to the deer that they want to mate with that they are qualified to mate
Mhm.
with her. Period.
Right.
That's even in nature. So to the winner goes the spoils. And
Mhm.
he has to prove that he's able to protect her. And when he proves that, hey, he gets to mate with however many deer he wants.
Mhm.
But you got niggas over here, like I said, when their moms didn't want anything better for themselves, they take that same mentality and they expect these women to have the same mentality. And the game just don't work like that. All things that are good cost,
Right.
even in business. We look at Jeff Bezos and we talk about how remarkable his story is, but it cost him to start that business, did it not?
Mhm.
He had to invest in that business, and he had to, and if he when he wanted to expand the business, he had to put in a cost because that business meant the world to him. It meant something to him. That's why he was able. That's why he was willing to invest in it. I'm not saying you got to be out here buying chicks cars and you know Michael Kors and Louis Vuitton handbags. But what I am
Mhm.
saying is that you have to prove to this woman that she's not gonna be in the damn poorhouse.
Right.
Too many of you niggas, y'all live. You're used to the struggle
Mhm.
and you still struggling now. You want to trick your money off on anime conventions and video games instead of putting your money where it should matter, like your family and covering for your legacy. A lot of you niggas are in Never Land.
Mhm.
You never want to grow up. You just like Peter Pan syndrome ass niggas
Mhm.
drinking your little caramel lattes. A lot of this, see, we get on these women. We got to get on a lot of these goofy niggas too. You got niggas out here giving relationship advice 38 years old, living in their mom's basement, talking about what these women shouldn't ask for. What can you give a nigga?
Mhm.
Go ahead,
Nothing.
Frank.
Nothing. Nah, man, you right, man. These brothers, man, they just need a hug, man. They need a real good, you know, um, fresh fresh copy of a Ralph Tresvant CD. You know what I mean? And they need to get it out, man. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, they're not really upset at the system. They're just upset that they're not benefiting from the system. You know what I mean? So they don't have a problem with with the way things are. Like if they could benefit from it, if they could be the ones, getting these exotic women and all of that, they wouldn't have a problem with the system. So the fact that they're not benefiting from it means that they want to complain about it and tear it down. But if they had the opportunity to sit in that chair, they wouldn't have anything wrong with it. There would be no issues from them. But like I said before, man, everything of value costs. You know what I mean? If you get to a point in your life as a man, like for me, like we talked about, I'm married. I've been married 13 years. Be 14 in August. So when I got to a certain point in my life, because when you're a young guy, we've all had women that submitted to us for nothing. You know what I mean? Whether it was high school, college, we all had women that were willing to do something for us, do things for us, and didn't require anything of us except for our time or for us to call them or tell them they look cute or whatever. We've all had women like that. But when you get to a certain point in your life and when you become a man, like I don't even want a woman like that. I didn't even want a woman like that. If a woman would submit to me for nothing, she wasn't the type of woman that I needed or wanted. You understand what I'm saying? Like I needed somebody that was like, look, I'm with you, but you know, I'm with you because of who you are as a person, but because of your ability to provide and protect. You know what I mean? Because that's what you do when you think long term. A lot of these guys, they're thinking, their mindset is short term. So when you're a short term thinker, when you're a low level, two-dimensional thinker, it doesn't really matter, um, you know, the quality of the female. It doesn't matter, what you should be doing. You know what I mean? Only thing that matters is you having sex. You know what I mean? You having fun. But if you think long term, you say, look, I want to build with somebody, I want to provide and protect, and I want somebody to come in and nurture, what I've built and what I can protect, then you're thinking long term. And that's somebody that you want. You know what I'm saying? So once you get to a certain age, to a certain level of maturity, that stuff gets old, man. It gets old, you know, playing around with females and getting them to do stuff for you that, for nothing, and you don't have to do anything. I mean, I get it. I've been there. You know what I'm saying? I enjoyed it while I was there.
Yeah,
But
I mean
then when you get,
it's
but when you
cute.
get to a certain point in your life, man, it's like, that's old, that's whack. You know what I'm saying? I don't want a woman like that. I don't want struggle love, man. I don't want a woman that's comfortable, you know, eating ramen all day. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? I don't want
running
that.
up your blood
I don't.
pressure.
Right. I don't want that. I don't want a woman that's comfortable sharing clothes with her friends. You understand what I'm saying? I don't want that. I don't. You know what I mean? I mean, okay, we've been there. We did what we had to do when we were younger, based on the situation that we got put in. But now that you older and you can control your environment, your situation, I don't want somebody that's comfortable with that. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that would be an automatic turn off from the beginning. If I was out here dating and this woman was like, well, yeah, because I see it all the time too, man. Like on my Facebook page and stuff, I see females like, I just need this, or I just need a dude to be real. He ain't got to do this, or he don't have to do that. I'm good. I can pay my own bills. I just want a guy like this. That's defeated talk. That's a woman that gave up. She feel like I can't get somebody that's like that, or I'm not worth somebody that's like that.
Right.
So I'll
Yeah.
try to, I'll try to talk confident about, what I can do to try to hide the fact that I don't think that I could get a guy that should be doing what he should be doing. So that's going to allow me to do what I need to do as a feminine woman.
And most feminine women, they have homegirls like that, and like Amanda Seals. And I'm going to be cooking Amanda Seals again later this
Right.
week. Y'all know I love cooking her ratchet ass, her high yellow Eurethian ass. I like to roast her because she's the epitome of a typical millennial chick. But we'll get to her in another time. But a lot of feminine women have homegirls like that. They want to shame other women for having preferences or having standards. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of these dudes are trying to shame women into having it too. You have these basement dweller niggas,
Mhm.
like I said, their mom fixes them their lunch at 35 years old, trying to shame grown women for having standards.
Right.
This is what I don't get, Frank. And I want you to we're gonna go back to what you said. I don't want a woman that is willing to submit to me without me having to provide. We're gonna get that was a real good point you made. But I want to talk about this hypocrisy real quick with a lot of these dusty avatar niggas. What they'll say is they'll try to shame these women for having standards, right?
Hmm.
Then they'll turn around and say, you know, well, they gave it to Pookie and Ray Ray for free. And so when she learns her lesson and she says, you know what, I didn't value myself enough. I should do better, and I should demand better, and I should want better. They shame them for that too. So they shame them for being with Pookie and Ray Ray, who are broke. They shame them for that. Then they turn around and shame the same women for wanting and demanding better. See, this is why I get so tight with a lot of these anime convention ass niggas.
Mm. Why do you even want to come behind a dusty nigga? Like why are you even sit? Okay, you, I get it. You know, um, a lot of brothers talk like that. They'll say, "Look, man, I'm not doing nothing. Homie, her last dude didn't have to do nothing. He was a dusty. He was a deadbeat. Why would you want to come behind a deadbeat nigga, like knowingly? You know what I'm saying? Like that's an indictment on you. You know what I mean? I'm not coming behind no dusty. You know what I mean? To be with a thought. Let me tell you something. And there's a lot of dusty women out here, and their dust might not be visible. You know what I mean? It's a lot of invisible dust running around out here. So if you're a female and you out here and you dating dusties and putting your business out in the street where dudes know what you've been through and who you've been with and what you didn't do, you know what I'm saying? Number one, you sloppy. And number two, as a man, I'm not coming behind that if I know about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's dumb. You know what I'm saying? So for you to sit here and, of course, I mean, if in their argument, it kind of makes sense now, because that's like me saying, okay, I'm gonna go out here and I'm gonna buy a used car. I'm gonna buy, a 2008 Camry or something. And then the guy who sell me the car is like, well, you got to put 93 in it. And I'm like, well, nah, the last nigga who had the car, he only put 89 in it. It's an old ass car. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like, why are you sitting here complaining and arguing about, you know, having to keep up a car that's old anyway? Get a new one. And then you can do what you need to do. You know what I'm saying? So that's the issue right there. Like, I'm not coming behind. If you're a man and you sitting here talking about, well, I got money, but I ain't trying to do, something that the last dude didn't do, that's an indictment on you as a man for you to even knowingly want to come behind a dusty nigga like that.
Absolutely. Now, I'm actually going to send an invite to the guy in question
Mm-hmm.
who said that submission is not paying for submission is not necessary. Vernon, the link has been sent, sir. So all you gotta do is hit the link, and I'll add you into the video, so you can explain to us, good folk, why submission is not necessary, or why you can't paying for submission is not necessary. Hello, Naima. How are you, dear? Good to see you. That's good to see you. Kwame has a real good point here too about you judge somebody by the way of their last boyfriend. There are some chicks, and Anti-Simp, he talked about this one time. He says that if you are a man and you're dealing with a chick, and she's dated a broke dusty dude, you don't deal with her.
Right.
So,
right.
Naima, I haven't. It's been the same. Ultimate Black Man. It's been the same. It's been the same. It's been the same.
I'll say that too.
Yeah.
I agree with that. You can learn a lot about a person based on who they hang around and who they've been with. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? If I'm somebody that's official, I don't date unofficial. I don't associate with unofficial. You know what I mean? I'm a husband, I'm a father. So I take care of my wife, I take care of my children. So I'm not gonna hang around a nigga that don't do that. You know what I'm saying? So, if I hang around it, then that's me endorsing it. You know what I'm saying? So I've been there. I've been dating before, and and those conversations will come up. You know what I mean? And and you find out that she'll say all these things when you ask her. You know what I mean? She'll say, "Hey, well, I like this type of guy, or I want a guy who does these things," and then you get to talking about past relationships, and none of them niggas did that. They were all uh beta males, or they were all dusty. You know what I'm saying? So that's what she's
Right.
obviously that's what she's comfortable with. That's what she's attracted. So you go into it right then knowing, okay, this ain't something I can, like you have to judge at that point. Like, look, I'm this whole situation ain't worth my time. I don't care how cute she is, but she's used to a certain type of dude, and I'm not even gonna waste my time with it.
Right. Vernon, can you hear me?
What's going on, Gabe? What's happening?
What's up, nigga?
Man, nothing much out here. Just showing a little bit of love. Hoping they don't call me to work, because I ain't trying to do shit tonight.
I feel you, man. I feel you, man. Shout out to Vernon. He is a supporter / troll. That's what I call Vernon. So, Vernon, you are the one that said submission does not cost. Okay.
No, I don't think so.
You said submission does not cost, right?
No, it doesn't.
Right? It doesn't. All
Yeah.
right. And shout out to the real. The real says, but y'all just mentioned growth. Is it not possible for a person to grow from their last relationship? Daryl, in this day and age, I don't know, because I see too many of these bald head chicks choose the same dusty nigga over and over again. So I have to tell my audience that when you see these chicks and they had a dusty bum the last time, most of those women do not appreciate good men.
They don't.
Right.
They don't appreciate good men. So I can't sit here in good conscience and tell these brothers, well, she dated a dusty, 4 times, it's okay. You should give her a chance. And some of them grow from it, but most women that continually choose bad dudes or dusty dudes, they don't grow. So,
Women have been tricked, bro.
You said they've been tricked.
They've been tricked. Like speaking on the what y'all say, dusty dudes. I don't use that term, so I see women using that. But I'm gonna say I just call them broke niggas, thugs, whatever. First of all, women have been tricked to believe that the quote unquote sexual liberation is a good thing for them. Now, if you want to go around, this is how I deal with it. If you want to go around sleeping with this guy, you can do whatever you want to do. Just know, as one of those top tier dudes, I don't have to play by those rules and I will not take you serious. That's how that works. Nobody's saying you can't sleep around like a man or whatever the fuck they're trying to do. But you also can't get mad when these top tier dudes are not going to be with your ass for real. That's the way it works. Some dudes might be like, you know what, I'm not going to even chance it. Then you have some dudes that'll be like, shit, she's still bad. I'm going to knock her off and block her number. That's how it works.
Okay. Okay. So, Vernon, I want you to explain to people about your position on submission. We kind of talked about this off the record. You said that submission from women does not cost. And I want you to explain your position on that to my audience.
Well, from my perspective and from what I know across the various good women that I have met that I've ruined and the ones that I have met and for whatever reason I fucked it up, you know how it works. Submission was always taught in the home, from mom and dad, predominantly from dad explaining to her, yo, once you meet the right man, this is how you conduct yourself. This is what you do. And mother also being there to set the example based on how she deals with her father. And of course, they were married. What I see happening now is women, quote unquote, trying to base submission off a man's financial status. And that simply doesn't work for the simple fact that most of these women that are doing this kind of shit have already submitted to Pookie and Ray Ray by having this kid. That makes absolutely no sense to me how you can say, oh, I'm not going to listen to this guy unless he makes X amount of dollars. But you had a kid with a dude that don't even have an 8th grade education. That makes absolutely no sense to me. And I'm a dude that's been on both sides of the fence. I've told you several times, and I will say it again. When I didn't have money, when I was running the streets, doing the wrong shit, I had way more women than I have now. Make that make sense. Because what people like to do now is their whole rebuttal to sing me out somewhere with a beautiful woman or doing this or doing that. It's because you got money. Well, explain to me how when I didn't have money, I had even better looking women and I had way more fun with women back then. Explain that. So if you ask me, bro, I don't believe that submission is based off a man's financial status. Because if that was the case, you know what I mean, you would see a bunch of rich ass niggas with more than one woman as it is. Because they will be with that dude because he has the money, and whatever.
Okay. Frank, what do you have to say to that?
Well, first, I'm not going to disagree with the brother. He made a lot of good points.
He did.
What I will say is this, submission should be based on a man's ability to take care of his business and provide and protect it and have his money game up. You know what I mean? That's the way that is supposed to work. You know what I mean? And so it's a lot of situations out here where a lot of women have been sloppy and have been, submissive for nothing, and it's messed the game up. So now, you have brothers out here who will say, look, I'm not doing nothing. You know what I mean? You didn't do nothing for the last nigga. You're not going to play me out like that and have me out here breaking bread and nobody else had to break bread with me. Like, I'm not going to be your fool. I'm not going to be stupid. And then, and it goes both ways with the females too. So it's messed the game up. And my argument is that, we're in this messed up predicament because of that, because everybody's, because a lot of these women want to be liberal and, and want to slang the box around, to empower themselves and make themselves feel like they're, like there's, a superwoman or something like that. And it's messed the game completely up. You know what I mean? You got these kids that are illegitimate, that, don't have fathers. And it's a cycle, man, because like the brother said, a woman is supposed to, a young girl is supposed to get her first lesson about manhood, being around a man,
100.
how to interact with a man from her father. You understand what I'm saying? From
100.
From her father in the household. And so she's not getting that out here right now. Only where she's getting it from is from a Mary J. Blige or Keisha Cole album, or or on TV or Love and Hip Hop or something. That's her idea of what a man is and what he's supposed to be, and what she's supposed to lay down with and have a kid by. You know what I'm saying? So it's messing the game up. But I'm just saying that it's going to work. It works best when a woman says, "Look, man, like I gave you was talking
Man,
about with the animals and all that, and I sent you a video about it too. I remember the video with the little lions, and the
Yeah, you
female
did.
lion had so I don't know if y'all saw it, but it was a video, like National Geographic or something, where
Man, that shit
all
be
these
lit.
lions were in a pride, and one of the female lions, she had went off and left the pride and had some babies. You know what I'm saying? She had some little lion cubs or whatever by another lion from outside the pride. And so she tried to come back into the pride with her cubs and try to act like, the cubs were by the leader of the pride. You know what I'm saying? She tried to sneak in and make him think that those were his cubs. And that nigga said, nah. He threw her out. He banned, you know what I'm
mm.
saying? Like he banished her and
let,
all
let me
that. I'm,
let me
I'm telling
address
you, like I
something real quick. This
yeah.
guy said, "What's the difference between compliance and submission, bro?" It's
Yeah, I
really
was gonna
simple.
ask you to answer that question. He was asking.
Submission is embedded in a woman, regardless of a man's financial status. She knows her role as a woman. She knows what it takes. She knows that. Hold on for a second.
No, take your time.
Go right to chop your ass. All right. Submission is embedded in a woman, bro. From the get go, from her parents, mostly from her father, explaining to her how a woman should be and her role as a woman and how she should complement her man. Compliance is simply a woman being in a predicament and she's just dealing with it because of the circumstance. That's like when you go to work, right? You know the rules of the job. Let's be
Right,
real. We all adults. We don't really give a fuck about the rules, but we
I know I
comply
don't.
because we're getting paid.
right,
All right, okay. So, all right, okay, right there, Vernon. You said you comply because you're getting paid. So,
Yeah,
what we'll say in China goes, so what's my role as a woman? China wants to know what's her role as a woman. I'll let you, Vernon, what is China's role as a woman?
bro. There's no. Given the times we in today, bro, there's really no set blueprint of what a woman's role is because women are making more money than they ever made. Women
Okay.
are being educated more than they've ever been. So there's no set blueprint or mold for what a woman should be. You know what I mean? But all I will say is this: anytime you have a woman that's trying to outdo a man, that's not your lane. If
right,
you are earning X amount of dollars, if you are educated X amount, whatever, you should be seeking somebody that's either on your level or above. If you do date somebody that's, let's say, not as educated as you or doesn't make as much money as you need to understand that from the gate and never try to overstep your boundaries as a woman. That's still a man. That
right.
doesn't make you any better than him, just like it don't make me any better than my woman because I make more money than her. That just means that we're different and we both somehow just chose our goddamn paths up until the point of where we at now.
Your role as a woman is to be honest with yourself first and foremost. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? You know who you are. You know what you're willing to submit to. You know what you're not willing to submit to. So when you come out here, um, you don't want to base your entire existence on emotionalism. You know what I mean? I
True.
know women are I
Yeah.
know women are emotional, but
Hmm.
you have to be cognizant of that, and you have to be careful with that because a lot of women have made some of the worst mistakes of their life, based on emotions, based on how they feel.
True.
You know what I mean? And
Right.
That
so
is true.
how you feel and what's right and exact can be two completely different things. So you got to understand, like, look, this is who you are. This is what you want to line up with, and then when you find it, line up with it. Don't compete with a man, like your brother said. Because men, we're not here to be competed with, not with women. You know what I mean? We challenge each other. We compete with each other on certain levels, but we're not gonna do that with a female. Period.
Pretty Priscilla Pink asks, does this apply at work or college? Go
Well,
Frank answer.
I don't know nothing about college because I didn't go to college, and most of the people that went to college that I went to high school with, I earned damn near all of them. So I mean, I don't really give a damn. I feel like college is a pyramid scheme anyway. Unless you're going for a specific skill set, You know,
Yeah,
I don't see
that's
the
true.
need for the shit, but that's just me, you know, and I'm living proof of that. Like I said, Gabe, we stay in the same city, bro. You can pull up anytime to see. I can prove to you I'm not just talking.
Oh, I
Because
know
when I
you're
get
not,
on
Brandon.
these,
I know
when I
you're not.
just get on these groups, when I sometimes get in these groups, people just be like, oh, he's a dusty, this and that, bro. Like, just stop it.
Yeah,
But like I said,
I
you can
know
prove
you.
it.
Yeah, I know you ain't. I know you're not
Man,
bullshit. I
let,
know.
let, let me address something. This woman said men are emotional. Those, I'm gonna tell you something.
Yeah, I was about
I
to
can
speak on
I
that
can
myself
tell
too.
when a man wasn't raised by his father or any strong male figure that put his foot in his ass every time he did stupid shit based on how he behaved when he's under pressure. When you see dudes that are under pressure and they put in a predicament and they're frustrated, that's when all the emotionalism come out when they're screaming bitch this, bitch that, and all this yelling and shit like that. Most men that I know that was raised by their father and they don't behave like that.
Right, right, right.
They don't behave like that because most men, especially when they're raised by their father, like me, were taught, you know, when you're under pressure, you still need to have your mind clear so you can be able to think.
Absolutely.
If your mind isn't clear, if you feel with rage, if you feel with anger, hurt, sorrow, whatever the fuck it is, you're not going to be able to think straight.
Right. That's right.
Yeah, I just wanted to
So
address the sister
men
too real quick.
are men are emotional, but men are not. Most men are logical by nature.
By
Emotion isn't our
nature.
forefront.
Right,
By
By
right,
nature.
nature,
By
we're
nature.
logical. That's why
Yes.
you need a male and woman balance.
right.
Yes. Yes, sir. Go ahead, Frank. Answer the question, brother.
Yeah, I just wanted to address the sister too because for me to speak, I think the question was, I think you asked, what was your role as a woman, or what is a woman's role? So my answer was coming from that perspective. It was not meant to say that men aren't emotional because, like your brother said, men, we do have a certain degree of emotion, but um, we we're more logical, so to speak. And and to what he was saying, that's why you need that balance. You need that, we need to complement one another because, you know, we're more logical for the most part. Women are more emotional, and you need both. But you need it in certain situations on various levels. So that's where the balance comes in. But the way I answered it wasn't meant to say that men aren't emotional because I wouldn't be honest if I said that.
Pretty
She
Priscilla
said,
Pink, did we answer your question, ma'am? Hold on one second.
she said,
Let's answer her question. She wants to know the
okay.
answer to her question. So, did we answer your question about college? I want to make sure that you have a clear understanding of what is being said before we move forward. Because China, I'm gonna have to start stir frying here in a minute. Because you said that, well, why do men act like emotion is the arch nemesis of logic? If you're too emotional, you can't be logic. This is why women make a lot of women are they end up in debt because they make purchases off of their emotion or they do things off their emotion. That's why a lot of their relationships are ruined too. But I'm not even.
Exactly. This is what I explained to my sister because my sister once told me, she said, I want to get a, I want to, I wish I could find a man like you. And then I told her, do you really want a man like me? Because
Mm,
you know how I carry myself and how I am towards my woman. You told me that the way I treat my woman is wrong, but then you'll say you want a man like me because I won't let her get away with the emotional bullshit, no accountability, and all this other type of dumb shit that you do. So do you really want a man like me? Somebody that's not gonna give you a pass. You can't use your past experiences as for why you behave the way you do. Because if I was to do that, we all been cheated on, we all been hurt. I can use the same excuse for why I'm a habitual cheat, for why I'm a liar. I've been lied to, I've been cheated on. That's my excuse for why I do it.
right.
But if I said that, you would say I'm full of shit. You
It's
see how that
okay.
works?
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Pretty Priscilla Pink says, does the non-competitive aspect apply to work and college? No, but this is why I tell a lot of men, this is why men don't like college educated women. Because let me tell you something. I dated a chick that was a network engineer. That chick made $30 an hour. When
Mm-hmm.
I tell you she challenged me on every damn thing, that chick challenged me on everything. I didn't give two damns about her little degree or how much she made. I was looking for cooperation and compliance. I
And
wasn't
Right,
that's what they don't understand, bro. That's
right,
what
right, right.
these women do not understand. I was just in a previous situation with a woman that had 3 degrees. This woman would say stuff like, I got 3 degrees, I'm educated, this and that. And I'll rebuttal, how come you have 3 degrees and you're not using any one of them?
Right. Oh God. Well,
Right.
see, they
That
get
makes absolutely
sorry
no
ass
sense.
degrees too. This is the thing. They get their degrees in ass wiping, CNAs, and they get their degrees in professional admin stuff like that. And I got 3 degrees, and they really have these 1 year certificate programs. I wish these women would be more honest about that too. You get a degree in professional ass wiping, professional paper filer, and y'all barely make $15 an hour. We
You
just really need to start being
Yeah.
honest about that
you
too.
you have to understand something, bro. All of that shit right there derives from, the feminist playbook 101, whereas they feel as because they have a degree or whatever kind of piece of paper or certification that they're automatically better than their male counterparts. Whereas that's been proven to be false. Because at the end of the day, what women have done, bro, with the shit that they've been doing, they have made it harder for them. Even if they are a good woman, they've made it harder for themselves because things that they used to do, men are also doing for themselves now. Like women used to traditionally cook. Now you have dudes that cook. So what
Right.
does he need you for if all you can say is I'll cook for you?
I'm probably the
Facts.
best chef on this broadcast.
Facts.
Everybody watching, I'm probably the best.
Facts.
That's real. That's a good point, Vernon. I have to give you.
Like
I got
that makes no sense. You have men that sew their own clothes, you have men that cook, you have men that balance the checkbook and pay all their bills and do XYZ. So you have to ask yourself, women, what can you do to benefit that man's life? That's what it's about now. It's not about how fat your ass is. That works for basic men. For
Right.
men that pay their bills, that cook their own food and do XYZ, that have money, they can go have sex with any woman that they want.
That's a good point, Vernon.
You have to
Right.
ask
Right. Right.
yourself, are you a debit or a credit to a man's life? If you are not a
Mhm.
credit, you cannot be like, well, why don't these men want me? Because you're not a credit. You
That's
can
it.
make more money than me. You can look better than the current girl that I got now, but that doesn't make you a credit.
Right.
I agree
And
with
and
that.
and as far as that goes, man, that's mindset. Cause like, look, I'll be I'll be personal for a second. Like, my wife is an accountant. And when I met her, she had already went to college. She was already an accountant. She makes great money. She makes 6 figures. When we got married, we started having kids. I wanted her at home, and she was willing. She was like, "Look, I want to stay home. I want to make these babies. I want to feed. I want to clean the house. All of that." And I was like, "Well, look, you're an accountant, you have a degree, so if you want to work from home or whatever, primarily, then I'm with that. What I mean? I don't want you to get it and not use it. You know what I'm saying? So she's sitting here, she works from home, she's an accountant, she makes a lot of money, she makes well over 6 figures, and she's still like, even with all that success, all of these contacts she made when she was in college, she's still like, you know, every day I come home, what I mean, this house is clean, it's food cooking, you know what I mean, the kids, she's her success as a professional does not champion over her being a wife and a mother. That's what she values most. If I brought her in this room right now and asked her, what are you most proud of? What is your greatest accomplishment in your life? She would tell you that it's being your wife and the mother of your children, being a mom and a wife. I don't care nothing
See,
about no accountant. I don't care nothing about no college. I don't care nothing about no GPA, whatever. I'm a wife and a mother. That's first. That's the most important thing. If I had to choose anything, if I had to choose between those things and anything else, everything else is going out the window. And a lot of women don't have that mindset. You know what I mean? Because
exactly.
they don't. So and it shows up in relationships, and a lot of brothers just aren't willing to deal with it.
You have to also say this because women get really upset when black men, especially this, well, let's just say the successful black men, because that's the only ones that they care about when they date interracially and marry other races of women. You have to also understand that these women are 9 times out of 10 raised by their father and mother put together, so they already have an understanding of what they should be looking for in a man. Women that were not raised like that, you need to pay attention. You need to remove the feminist bullshit, remove the feminist agenda, and all this other nonsense that's been put into your head. This I don't need no man shit, because at the end of the day, we all need each other. No matter how much money I make, I still need a woman because I'm.
And Vernon, I'm actually glad you said that, and that's my whole point. That's why I'm doing this. We have so much contention in this damn community. It makes me sick when I get online sometimes. At the end of the day, we need each other. That's the whole point. If black folks are gonna survive, period, we have got to learn to get along. Dr. Claude Anderson, I often say this. Dr. Claude Anderson always says that if black folks want to be here in the next 100 years, that we have to build a community.
You see what this woman just said? Hold on, I just got to speak on this. She said being a wife and a mom is tired and boring. That is why a lot of y'all are single mothers and you're broke.
China.
That is exactly why a lot of y'all are single mothers and you're broke. That is exactly why, because you refuse the natural order of things. You refuse it. You want to be the man. You want to run the show. You want to make all the money. But you want a man too. What the hell am I going to be there for if you running everything?
It's all good. Just don't complain about brothers.
It's a thankless job. It's a thankless
China, you
job.
know better. You know better, China. You know better.
This woman says it's a thankless job. So what has being a single mother done for the community the last 60 years?
It's ruined it. That's why I'm so hard on them.
Wait a minute. Wait. But when we speak on that, what has the single mother rate compared to what it was back in the early 60s? It was like 9%. Now it's 80. Now it's 83%. 62% of that 83% of black women that are single mothers have multiple kids by multiple men that never married them. And for these women that like to talk shit and say, well, these guys aren't shit. These men ain't nothing. I was born in 91, right? Mm-hmm. I'm one of the select few from the late 80s, early 90s that were raised by their father, raised by two, predominantly my father, though. All of those dudes that y'all raised by yourself are now adults. So when you mad talking about these men ain't shit, you raised these dudes that ain't shit. You raised them. You can say, well, the father wasn't there. You chose him. You decided to have this nigga baby.
Facts.
That still has no bearing on the fact that you raised that child day to day. You're responsible for these niggas.
China, I can't believe you went there today because you almost made me go on a rant. I'm glad running on because that shit there, that shit I be talking about with you women. I try to give y'all chances and I try to be nice and I try to prop y'all up, but y'all come say this dumb shit. That's why the community is in such shambles now. But
that's the difference between you and me, Gabe, because I sincerely don't give a damn about how they feel. I'm gonna tell it like it is.
Help these chicks out, it's a thankless job, dude.
See, the thing is, like me and Gabe, man, our climb is uphill because me and Gabe still have hope. You know what I'm saying? We got hope for a lot of women out here. A lot of brothers don't, man, and they move like. Oh, and real quick, I just want to answer Pretty Priscilla Pink.
Yeah, go ahead, Frank. Go ahead.
When you're in the workforce, you know what I mean. Like if you are working, you want to be competitive. I don't think any brother would, who deals with you, who is in a relationship with you, doesn't want you to be competitive. If you're in the job market, get the biggest bag you can get. The issue is with brothers, like, we don't want you to bring that competitiveness to the house.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And the household, we're complementing one another. We're not competing with each other.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So it's not even really about, because look, I'm not going to front. Most of us are not living in a household where the man is working and makes enough money and the woman stays home and takes care of the house. Like that's not what we're seeing out here. You know what I mean? You're not going to see it a lot. So most relationships, the man and the woman, the husband and wife are both working. So you out here, you get it and you be as successful as you can be. But when you come home, you know what I mean, that competitive hat goes off. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like you take that competitive coat off and you hang it up in the closet. And y'all are complimenting, from the time you get into the door to the time you walk out, y'all are complimenting one another. And then when you get back in the job, you go compete. So I hope that answers your question.
I think that answered her question. There you go. I got you, Pretty Priscilla Pink. She's always over here supporting. So shout out to her. I appreciate you for being over here. And then take a sip of this cranberry juice. Damn, my blood pressure went up a little bit. The damn comment pissed me off. Shit,
man.
It's boring, man. It's boring, yo.
God,
she said it's
boring. Knowing what I know, that comment wasn't even upset you. It's actually typical of the average, woman and today.
Y'all can't think like this, y'all. Darrell says, being a it's only a thankless job when you have a man that does not appreciate what you are doing for his legacy. Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. Y'all need to stop letting these dudes nutting you that are bums anyway. That's
Exactly.
part of y'all damn problem.
This is what
Can
I
I,
told
can I
myself.
talk about that for just real quick? Let me speak on this. See, I try not to shame single. I try to get away from that whole shame thing, single thing. I try not. I don't want that channel to be like that. But too many of you chicks, y'all sit up and y'all let the dustiest of the dusty, the bottom of the barrel dudes nut in you, and then y'all want to sit up and complain about it. Well, it's a thankless job, and these men don't do this, and these men don't do that. Anytime I go on Twitter or Facebook, and these chicks are complaining about what these men not doing and they're not stepping up, all I gotta do is click on their profile, and I see 2-3 bastard kids sitting right there.
Facts.
You see what I'm
And you
saying?
have
Yep.
these.
Like
What
y'all
I
stop
told.
letting these goofy niggas see. I dated one chick when I was still like, you know, giving, like trying to work out things with like single moms. I had one chick tell me that we were just talking, and I was telling her, you have to choose better. Like when you talking about a man getting you pregnant, you can't be choosing dudes that can't count to 10 and have never made over $11 an hour. And she looked at me and said, "So you mean to tell me that, you know, I'm just not supposed to give men like that babies?"
No.
No.
That's what they
No.
say, or they say
No.
things like this. They say things like this when you tell them to choose better. They say, "Why don't men just be better?"
Right. Why don't
Right.
men
Right.
be
Right.
better? You
They
sitting
say
up
things like that to remove the fact that they lack discernment in choosing mates because they don't want to
right.
actually they don't want to actually judge a man's character and how he moves. They just want things to just fall in their lap where they don't have to do no work. That's not the way that the world works, ladies.
Right.
China. China. Okay.
I already knew that. I already knew that, China. I don't even know you. You know what I'm saying? I don't know
Yeah.
you, and I'm not disrespecting you at all. I know you tried it, and I know it's not for you. There's no way you could answer like that if you hadn't tried it and it didn't work. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is that it. Look, I know somewhere deep down, you know it's not a thankless job, and you know it's not boring. The problem is you gave yourself to the wrong nigga. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like that's the problem. It ain't the problem is not that relationships are bad or marriage is bad or having children is bad. The problem is that you did all that with the wrong nigga. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying?
It's called a
Period.
lack of
All
discernment.
that's right. And you gotta admit that and be like, look, okay, I get it. If that's how you really feel at the end of the day, you know, more power to you. But at the end of the day, you gotta look at yourself and say, look, you know what I mean? If it ain't born when I do it right. You know what I mean? We all been there, man. Look, I was there. You know, I was in relationships that didn't work. That I dogged some women out. You know what I mean? I got played
Yep.
out myself. I'm not undefeated. I'm not Floyd Mayweather out here. Okay, I
Me
took a
neither.
L too. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of
Hmm.
the day, I was like, look, you know, whatever I thought I was doing right, I had to realize that I just did it for the wrong female. You know what I'm saying? And,
Exactly.
and when I get with the right female and do it, who's gonna appreciate it and compliment it, then I'm gonna be straight. You know what I'm saying? But that's up to you. But I already knew that. I already knew that you were speaking from some experience of trying it and it not working to your liking. I already knew that.
China, you're still young. There's still
But
time
asking
for you to
her,
learn,
but see,
man.
here's the thing that trips me out about these kinds of women. They will never admit that they fucked up and they refuse to go back to the drawing board and see where they went wrong. See,
Mm.
Right,
that's where the emotion comes in because men logically can admit when they fucked up,
right.
especially when they're tired of fucking up. They know that they did wrong. They know that they chose wrong, so they will go back to the drawing board and say, "Where did I go wrong? What about this woman was the wrong choice, and I need to do better." Women would not do that because most of the time they lack accountability, and they don't want to have to look in the mirror and say, "I fucked up."
Sonia, you know what? You can do that. I'm reading your comment. You can do both. You can have a career and you can have children and kids. But let me tell you this. You know what I mean? From my experience, you know, women who do that, who try to do it all, who work and who have these kids and they trying to do it all by themselves. Them chicks is tired. I don't care how cute you look. I don't care, where you go out on the weekends, happy hour with your friends. Them women are them women tired. And them women need a break. You understand what I'm saying? You could do both, but it ain't designed for you to do both. That's not life. It ain't designed for you to work, pay all the bills, raise all these. I mean, if you could do that to yourself, if you out here having, babies by dusties, you know what I mean? You could do that to yourself, but it ain't designed for you to do. That's not designed for you. Just because you have the strength and the ability to go out here and work, you know, 40 hours a week and take care of these kids by yourself. It's not just because you can do it doesn't mean that you should do it. And it doesn't mean that it was designed for you for it to be that way. You know what I mean?
They've
You
been
made it
fooled
that
to
way.
believe that's what they should be doing.
You made it that way, and then you try to, and I'm not saying you specifically, I'm saying you in general, like women, feminist women will say, they'll put themselves in a situation like that and then try to, build themselves up by saying I can do it all. And you really, and you can't, man. I have friends, family, people I know, single moms out here getting it every day. Them chicks is tired, man. Don't have no break. It ain't no let up. You
Jewel is
understand what I'm saying?
fine.
So,
Dang.
and they worn out, man. I don't care how much Mac you put on to hide it. Them chicks is worn out, and they need a break, and they know they want a break, but they can't get one because of the choices they made. You understand what I'm saying? So you can do it all, but just because you can do that, it doesn't mean that you should. And you got to think about them children too. You know what I mean? It's not fair to those children
That's what they not doing.
to not have their mom around all the time because she got to work and pay all these bills because she had them with a dusty or with a loser. You know what I'm saying? It's not fair to them. You're not even thinking about the kids if you say I
That's
could do it all myself. You know what I'm
that's
saying?
that's
Because
where
because a child needs a competent father. They need a competent masculine men in their life. You know what I mean? And for you to say that they don't need it, or for you to say that you could do it all by yourself, you're doing those children a disservice. And any woman who does that is doing the same.
if you loved your daughter, you would be a wife before you were a mother.
Facts.
Now, China, I mean, you're more than welcome to come on and defend your position. I ain't opposed to that. I mean, the floor is open. If anybody else would like to come on, if you disagree with me, myself, or Vernon, you're more than welcome to come on. Just let me know, and I'll get your email. Um, China, I know China personally,
Okay.
so I know her situation. Um, and I know she just wants to be argumentative. That's fine. But China,
You got to remember that
you
she's displaying this for the world to see. So when women like her agree with this kind of stuff, men are looking. That's the whole
hello, Queen of the
problem.
South. How are you, ma'am?
That's the whole problem with what's going on today. Women have been saying that black men aren't good fathers, which has been proven false. They say men aren't there, which has been proven false. Black men are the best fathers. A host of
Okay,
other
China.
shit for the last 60 years. They went on TV, went on Ricky Lake, went on Oprah saying black men ain't shit. Now you have platforms where black men can speak to other black men and speak amongst each other, and women are seeing it, and the truth
Right.
is getting out, and they don't like that shit. Women don't give a damn about what I say. They don't like the fact that other men can see what I say and see examples of what I'm saying, and they're like, wait a minute, I need to move a little bit different. So men, just like women have evolved, men are also evolving and getting smarter than they ever were. That's why this whole a man should pay all the bills shit is it's not really flying with a bunch of these new age dudes. And they don't like that.
Okay. All right. Shout out to everyone that is donated. Let me shout out to Miss Sean. Thank you so much for your donation. And
Mm-hmm.
Miss Natalie, my day one. She always supporting Big Gabe and Frank. We
Mm-hmm.
appreciate that. And of course, y'all can donate by going to paypal.me/ultimateblackman, or you could do it at Cash App at $ultimate blackman. Anything you donate goes straight into the channel. I was able to upgrade some of my equipment, and I am looking to update even more equipment. Let me tell y'all something real quick. We're gonna get back into it. When I have a switchboard and I can have sound effects, I'm gonna be acting a damn fool on this broadcast. So I'm just letting y'all know, like, shit gonna get real once we get to that level, and I have a stronger PC and I got a switchboard and everything. I'm gonna act a fool up here. So I appreciate, you don't have to give, just you being here is enough support. But if you would like to go even further, we do have these two methods where you can donate. I'll also be doing a Patreon later this week just to let y'all know. But China said something I want you guys to kind of address. And this is the problem with most millennial women. And this is why I've always said most millennial women, they're going to die alone. And this is why. China simply says, I don't operate on what I should do. I operate on what I want to do. Vernon, you go first. Address that.
Well, that's just an example of not having no goddamn logic because if you don't operate on what you should do, like what you should do is prepare your kids' future by selecting the right man to have children with. So if you had kids with a bum ass nigga that ain't doing what he's supposed to do, you wanted to do that, which just like I said, goes back to what I said that these women choose to be single mothers. They are choosing these so-called dudes that they don't like. They are raising these dudes that they don't like. She just openly admitted that they do what they want to do, not what they should do. Perfect example. So, I mean, for you to be talking about what men aren't doing and this and that, well, they doing what they want to do too. And they were raised and taught to do what they want to do versus what they should do by women like you. Simple.
Mm.
Go ahead, Frank.
Yeah, yeah. I'm just reading some of her stuff, man. I'm gonna say this. I don't debate people. I don't challenge people. I challenge principles. I challenge positions. So um, I don't know you personally. So I'm not you know attacking you at all. And then you said you're a widow as well. You know what I mean? Look, I'm married. I've been married 13 years. I can't imagine, what my life would be like if I lost my wife. You understand what I'm saying? So I know your circumstances are unique and they're different. Um, but it still doesn't take away the fact that, the masses of women, a lot of women, have a dysfunctional uh, mindset and logic to them that goes against everything that they say they want. You know what I mean? So you have to, women have to be honest, and have to look themselves in the mirror. You're gonna hit that wall, you know what I mean? And you gotta look yourself in the mirror and say, look, man, I made these mistakes. I chose that guy. You know what I mean? I can't I look, I have a daughter. Look, I have a son and a daughter. And because I'm in her life, because she sees me every day, she sees how I interact with her mother, I won't let her play them dumb games with me. You know what I mean? You don't get to come home and say, you know, well, this dude did this to me. And I'm look, he did that. Well, look, you chose that guy. You know what I'm saying? And look, and I get it. A lot of times, you know, well, it's very few times that somebody actually, slipped up on you and changed who they were, and you didn't know it, you didn't see it coming. That's few and far between. Most of us, we know who we are. I'm a man. I can speak for myself. Every woman I dated before my wife, I knew if she was trash or a treasure within a week of knowing that woman. Within a
Mm-hmm.
week of dating her, I knew
It
if she was
doesn't
gonna
take
be
Fact.
long.
trash. I knew
Don't
I
take
knew
long
if
at
she was
all.
gonna be
It
I
doesn't
knew if
take
she was
long.
gonna be treasure. So I decided I made it. I made a conscious decision in my mind as a man to say, look, I know this woman is trash, not trash, overall, but she's trash for me, for what I want. But I'm gonna still do it because she got a nice shape, or because I
Mm-hmm.
think I think she'll be out of the box with it sexually or whatever. I made that choice. So when it blew up in my face, I had to look in the mirror and say, you know what, I had to take that L. That was me. You know what I'm saying? That wasn't
Yep.
her. I knew who she was when I met her. I didn't care.
Yep.
I played roulette and I crapped out. And I lost. You know what I'm saying? So
Facts.
women got to do the same thing, man. You can't sit here and blame these dudes when you chose him. You knew he didn't have a job. You knew he had other kids that he wasn't taking care of. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? You knew where he lived at. You know what I mean? You knew he lived at home. You knew that. So you can't get on this rant and blame men and all of that, for the mistakes that you made. You
But
know what I
then
mean?
again, bro, you have to also remember that society doesn't push women to be accountable. So it's very easy for them to do that.
Right. I mean, it's a $1 billion market for them
They're
for
actually
women not to be.
rewarded for
You know what I mean?
them to not be accountable for their actions.
Right. It's right. It's more profitable. Like we Gabe and I are huge supporters of Nicole Michelle. That's our sister. I have a lot of love and respect for her.
Mm,
And even
And
with her,
Vernon, nope, nope,
and even
nope,
with her, I know,
no.
but I gotta
I
I
don't
gotta
have
do it
nothing to
because that's
say.
where I'm at with it. But even with her, if she came out here and she was like, and she was on some man hating stuff, and females don't have to be accountable or whatever,
Mm,
she have 100,000 subs right now. She have a talk show or something. You know what I mean? Because it's marketable and profitable
Yeah, with her work
for
ethic,
women to not,
she run
have
YouTube.
to hold themselves accountable.
Yeah. Yeah, she'd easily have 100,000 subs. She'd be on Madame Noir, and the Root would be interviewing her. She'd be on BET.
Facts.
That stupid show with that fat slob Lonnie Love. I'm gonna cook her later this week too, y'all. I haven't gotten around to doing it, but her little swirling fat ass is looking like a damn milk dud up there on that stage. I'm gonna get around to getting her fat ass. I just hadn't had time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna
And
cook her.
it's not even nothing to really cook, bro. That's the average mindset of the average black woman. That's
Right.
it's average. It's
Yeah.
like when she said that, bro, that was so typical to me. That was so typical how these women get on brothers for interracial dating, but you made the blueprint to interracial dating. Why don't y'all ever want to talk about that? While Martin Luther King and Malcolm X was getting killed, black women were fighting to the Supreme Court for the right to marry the same dudes and the same people that they say oppressed us, raped us, killed us when it comes to black men dating white women. They'll say, we're dating our oppressors, we're dating our rapists, we're dating our murderers. You fought tooth and nail while your man was dying to marry these same oppressors. Made it law. Loving versus Virginia. When you bring that up, they never have anything to say.
That's a real good point, Miss Jones. The irony, the show is called The Real. Yeah, The Real sloppy. That's because all them broads are a mess. Lonnie Love is a fat ass, and then you have that chick. What's her name? The chick that dates Israel Houghton. The cheetah girl chick. I can't remember her name.
Amanda, whatever.
Not Amanda Seals. God, what's her name?
I don't keep up with internet shit.
Yeah, I
never seen one episode in my life.
I gotta cook her too because Adrian, that's her name. I gotta roast her too because she's sitting up there trying to give relationship advice, and she was a fucking a married man. So that show there, I'm gonna have to get those women. I just hadn't had time. But trust me, I'm gonna make time this week because what she said, it sets a dangerous precedent, is what it does. Because what you do, you're running around here saying that these men aren't shit and that these black men, and you want to know, the Asian chick ended up correcting her big blubber mouth.
She tried to be like, yo, that's across the board, but she said, no, it's only black men. No, it's only black men.
With her big ass sitting up there
at the end of the day,
well done.
At the end of the day, like the brother spoke on, about women being honest with themselves. You have to be honest with yourself first and foremost in admitting that you're overweight. The number one killer of black women, and if you don't believe me, go to the cdc.gov and look it up, is obesity and obesity-related complications, i.e. diabetes and shit like that. That's the number one killer of black women. Despite women running around saying it's black men, which is not true, but it's obesity and obesity-related complications. You cannot be overweight, you cannot be obese, and all this other stuff talking about you want the best of the best, black men, white men, whatever. Some women do get some of these top tier men, but the standard of beauty in this country is not obese, black, white, whatever women. It's just not what it is. For yourself, for your kids, and for your own sake, you need to get in shape. It's not for me. It's not for my kids. It's not for your kids. It's for you. If you really care about your kids like you say you do, you would get in shape and make sure your health is number one priority.
But Vernon, what about PCOS and thyroid issues?
Well, that's another thing. That's another thing, though. Not every woman has that, though.
It's true.
Of course. That's those women right there. That's something that's out of their control. But there are a lot of women that just simply eat themselves into the grave. And that's not okay. Because if you say you love your kids, it's like I tell these dudes. If you say you care about your baby moms or your kids, why the fuck you keep going to jail?
Right.
How can you say you love your kids if you keep taking yourself away from them? You've been selling weed, you've been selling drugs for X amount of years. It ain't working. Work at McDonald's, bro.
Jaleesa said the fat accepted movement sucks. I'm a big girl, but I'm losing weight. There you go. I told y'all we're gonna do a weight loss challenge on this program because my big ass need to lose weight too. I'm gonna be over here talking all this shit. I need to be on a damn diet, but I have lost weight.
Now, I have heard women say, well, What about these fat men? This and that. What women fail to understand, they are so busy trying to compete with men, they don't even understand the basis of competing between each other.
Right.
Men do not
That's
compete with
true.
each other with the way we look. It's we compete with resources and assets.
That's
Right.
true. That's
Right.
so
Right.
true,
Women
bro.
compete with each other based on beauty. Gabe can be fat and be worth $1 million. I can be in shape, six pack, and everything. Be worth 50,000. I'm gonna lose to him 100% of the time.
Yeah,
Right.
that's true. It's facts. That's facts. Yeah, I know it's
So
that Mrs. V. I know it's their fallback. I was being facetious. These chicks, I got a thyroid condition, but they're sitting around here waffing down. Some of these chicks can eat more than me. I'm not bullshitting. I have gone on dates where the chick was out eating me. I kid you not. That's why I got to do that weight chart. I really got to do that weight chart because a lot of chicks that are a little bit bigger, I don't fat shame here, because I know some of these niggas be in y'all inbox wanting to fuck.
can I say
But
something real quick?
yeah, go ahead, Vernon.
There's no such thing as fat shaming or any kind of shaming because if you're not ashamed, I mean, how can you be shamed if you have nothing to be ashamed of?
That's true. That's
Mm-hmm.
true. That is true.
Mm-hmm.
How can
Yeah,
somebody fat shame you, Gabe, if you're not ashamed to be fat? What are you ashamed
you
of?
know me.
This is me. This is what it
Know
is.
it. That's how I present. This is me. Listen, I come to you as I am. Goddamn it,
These
accept
are
me or
all
not.
just terms. These are all just terms to basically like restrict what we can talk about. That's all it
That's
is.
true, Vernon. That's true too, brother.
Right.
These are just terms and phrases and things that's been conjured up, and I say that it's directly attacking black people because we are the ones that like to eat. We are the ones that like to do the wrong shit. We are the ones that's raised in a dysfunctional household. So you come up with these terms to basically make it wrong to speak on. And it's only detrimental to our people because we only getting bigger.
Right. That's true.
Yeah, man. On that tip, it's only with us too, because I have friends and colleagues. One female, she's Asian, and this chick is like a size 2, and she
Exactly.
and she'll tell me like, Frank, my mom said I'm fat. You know what I'm saying? And
Oh God.
and like she's a 2, and she's like, my mom's like, I'm getting fat, and there's no fat shaming in the Asian community. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not going. There's no. It's only all those terms are for us. Period.
Exactly.
Everyone else is like, look, you fat. You fat. Do something about it. We're not going to glorify it. We're not going to glorify no overweight, white women and try to put them in sexy roles and stuff like that. We're not going to do it. We're not going to accept it. You know what I mean? It's not something that we do over here. What y'all, y'all could do whatever. We don't care about y'all. We'll do it for y'all and really low key dissing y'all, even though y'all think that
Exactly.
we trying to uplift you, you know what I mean, and make you feel good about yourself. We really dissing you because when they put a sister who's a little bigger, on a magazine or something like that, they always put her beside a white chick that's like a size 0 or a size
Yeah.
2. You know what I mean?
Always.
They
Always,
never
man.
compare her.
Always.
Yeah. Yeah.
They never compare her to
That's
another
so true.
plus size white woman or Asian woman or something like that.
When they were pushing Gabby Sidibe's big ass, they did that all the time. Every time you saw Gabby Sidibe, now she's as wide as an NFL linebacker, they'd always have her next to some slim white chick. All the
Mm-hmm.
time. I remember Tariq did a whole broadcast on it one time.
Right.
Every time you saw her big wide ass, she was next to a slim chick. All the time. And these brothers, Lizzo is another one. She's such
Yeah.
an idiot that she doesn't realize that, these white folks that are paying her to do what she do and propping her up, that they're using her as a minstrel show. And what they're doing, they're pushing a narrative and they're pushing an image that all black women are like this: fat, out of shape, sassy, these
Mm-hmm.
big attitudes, can't
Mm-hmm.
be corrected. You start to push a narrative. Now, what I find funny about this is that you have the rest of the slop brigade on Twitter talking about some gas, girl, go ahead. But they'll turn around and promote swirling, not knowing white men do not date fat chicks. Are you kidding me?
Exactly.
A white man with money? Come on now. So what we gonna do? You gotta pick a struggle. That's what I've never understood, that how these chicks can promote obesity, then turn around and say they're gonna push an interracial dating narrative. Right, Miss. Now they did. Her fat ass is so big She's big like my size. Lizzo's so damn big, they had to reinforce her chair on CBS with hospital wheels.
That is
Think about that.
sad. But you would be quote unquote shaming her if you spoke the truth and said that she needs to do something about this. It's a shame that more people are talking about her antics and these gimmicks that she's constantly doing versus her actual talent, whatever the hell
She,
it is. Because I've never heard a song from her.
the
Yeah, I
girl is
never heard. I ain't
actually,
heard nothing. I heard
she's
nothing from
actually really talented. The girl, she can play the flute.
her. Mm-hmm.
She can sing a little bit. Like she's actually really talented. Her fat, looking like a goddamn land whale. She was sitting up on Instagram the other day, clapping her cheeks, making it act like her ass was making all them sounds when it was her whole damn body making all the clapping noises. Just sitting there shaking her
But
ass. And you got all these goofy simps in the comments section. I know I'm going off on a tangent right now. You had all
nah,
these
you
goofy
good.
ass simps in the comment section, like, ooh, girl, you look so good. Ooh, look at that ass clap. When it's
But
really her belly slapping on the front of her thighs, making all the damn noise.
but you got to remember this too, bro. Like I spoke on earlier, bro. These women are geared towards what makes them feel good versus what is actually good for them. That is why a lot of them are caught in the vortex, thugs, criminals, and sex offenders and all kind of other type of negative, detrimental stereotypes of black dudes that they just keep being attracted to. They don't want to do the right thing and actually go get a man that cares about you for you, and you have to also be a good woman. See, that's another thing. That's another flip to the coin too. A lot of these women want a good man, but when it's time to be a good woman, they don't want to do that.
Mm.
They just feel like just because they have a vagina, he's supposed to just do X, Y, Z, and that's not the way that the shit works. Because I can say that I'm a good man all day, but that doesn't necessarily mean that this woman feels that way.
Right. That's a good point.
They just feel like just because I'm a woman and because of whatever, this the way it used to be, you should be doing X, Y, Z. And niggas aren't going for that shit no more. That's why they running into so many fucking roadblocks. There has never in a time before now been this many single women, bro. There are a lot of single women out here, man. A lot of women that got kids and can't get no man, can't keep no man. If they get married, they can't successfully stay married and this and that. Like the end goal for marriage is to be married forever. It's not to get married and divorce, get married and divorce.
It's
So I
true.
mean, what's the point of you bragging that you got married?
That is true.
Not to mention a lot of these people are getting married for the wrong reasons from the jump. That's why the shit not lasting, dog. They getting married just to show off of Facebook.
What's funny too is that most of these chicks are Christian, and in the Bible, it actually says that even if you were to quote unquote divorce, you are still married to that man. And the only way that you quote unquote divorce is and you can marry someone else is if the husband dies.
But see, that's
Like,
another thing too. That's why I don't ascribe to a bunch of this religious bullshit because when people talk about the Bible, predominantly women, they like to pick and choose what they follow out of the Bible. Now, I'm not some Bible thumper, but I did grow up in the church a little bit. They like to say that you shouldn't judge. But then also you have Leviticus 20:13. Who's the
Yeah.
biggest promoter of what Leviticus 20:13 condemns? Black women.
Yeah,
They like to
it's like
say,
it's
yeah,
true.
yeah, they,
it's
they
like
like
almost
to pick and choose what they want to follow out of the Bible.
yeah, it's like at least over off the top of my head is at least over 5 verses that tell you to judge. The only thing is, like they only read the first part. You know what I mean? It just says judge not lest ye be judged. So it's saying you could do it, but just know that you're gonna be judged by the same standard. And if you don't judge people by the same, if you don't allow yourself to be judged by the same standard that you judge other people by, then you're a hypocrite. You know what I mean? It tells
Exactly.
you multiple times in there where you can, if me and Gabe are of the faith and we see a brother out here wilding out doing and not doing what he's supposed to do, we can go to that brother, in love and correct him. You know what I mean? And if he doesn't take the correction, if he doesn't heed the warning, then we leave him be. But it but
Right.
it there's multiple verses in there that talk about how you can how you can judge. But that's a good point, man, because if you look, you know, just on a in a religious aspect of it, you know, it definitely tells women to be submissive. You know what I mean? The Bible is very vague in a lot of things. But as far
That's
as that's concerned,
that's what they don't want to
as far as
admit.
that's concerned, it's very specific.
And when
You
you
are to
talk about the
submit.
Bible,
You are the
when,
weaker vessel. You have a question or you need counsel. You are to refer and talk to your husband at home to get instruction. You know what I mean? It's very, you ain't supposed to be preaching. You know what I mean? It's a lot of stuff in there that's very specific. But like the brother said, they people in general um will pick and choose what they want to get from it to benefit whatever they trying to do.
exactly, when you talk about the Bible, like I said, I'm not really religious, so I could be a little off, but I'm pretty sure if you really look at what I'm saying, I'm still on point with the base. The Bible, all throughout the Bible, it clearly warns man of the nature of women. It warns you all throughout the Bible of the nature of women. It doesn't warn you of the nature of men. It tells us what we should do. It says that we should love you as we love the Lord. It never says that you should love us. It simply says respect and obey. When you talk about women respecting and obeying, predominantly obeying their man, that word right there would start World War III, my nigga. World War III would be started if you get on the microphone and say women should obey their man. World War III, there will be a civil war in this country, and it will start with the black community because these women don't want to hear that shit. It will start in the black community. If you get on the microphone and say women should obey their man, dog, there's gonna be a civil war in this country before it's a civil war with Iran, before it's World War III with Iran.
I'm going to invite someone else China wants to bring on. Give me a second. Y'all keep chopping it up. I'm going to send him a link. This should be interesting.
Yeah, long story short, man, like just to go back to the topic, submission is something that, I think in a perfect situation, a perfect world, a man, has to have prerequisites for that. You know what I mean? He has to show himself worthy of that. And women have to show themselves worthy of being provided for and protected. You know what I mean? And so just like the brother was saying, on the biblical side, it warns the brothers a lot about women. When you look at it, and I'm not saying this to bash women at all. I'm just saying it because it's a fact. When you look in the Bible, you look all through the Bibles. So a lot of men, a lot of brothers in the Bible, were ruined because they chose the wrong female. You know what I'm saying? Like their whole lives were destroyed because they chose the wrong female, or they chose somebody that wasn't suitable to what they needed them to be suitable for. And so it's very important. I tell any brother that, man, look, you have to take care of your business and have your money game right and be a man of principles and discipline. But you have to, man, you got to vet these women, man. I'm not saying treat all of them like garbage because there's a lot of good women out here, but you got to make sure your vet
Mm-hmm.
game is up. Because if your vet game ain't up, I was just listening to the student minister Nuri Muhammad. You know what I mean? And I listened to him a lot, and he was talking about it, man. He was, just talking about how the value of having the right woman, man. I mean, she'll, I mean, she's great for you. She's God's greatest gift, man. If you got the right woman, you know what I mean. But you got to vet and make sure that the woman you dealing with is right. The woman you have kids with is right, man. Guard your seed. I tell any brother
Mm-hmm.
that, man. A lot of brothers out here, good dudes, but they would run around with a female that was just in the street and had a kid with her, and you can't escape that. You know what I'm saying? So guard your seed, man, and vet
On the top.
straight up.
Yes.
No doubt. No doubt. No doubt. Yeah, China. Okay, he's checking now. Let me know if he has any issues signing in. It should be pretty seamless to get in get into the chat. Um, and to back and to kind of support what Frank just said, kind of piggyback off what he just said. I was actually talking with my brother the other day. We went to Buffalo Wild Wings. Man, that wings were really good the other day too. Big ass didn't need them, but them shits were fire. But anyway, um, we were just talking and just talking about this previous situation I had been in, and we were just talking about how I don't think men take how getting involved with the wrong woman can ruin your life.
Yeah.
And I really want to kind of talk about more about that. And we were just talking, listening to things like if I had done this, and this, and this would have happened. All because of the wrong woman. Probably are not here tonight talking if I kept entertaining that or going down that road. Like,
Exactly.
it makes you really think about how choosing the wrong woman can affect you permanently. So a lot of niggas out here suffering financially, and they'll never be able to recover because they chose the wrong chick.
Man, I could really go in on that, but I'm not going to because that's like the exact opposite of another message that you're pushing. But I'm not gonna do that for your sake.
Okay, so what was that? No, say it. Go ahead and say it.
When here's my thing.
Okay.
There's a statistic that came out that says the fastest way for a woman to get rich is to get divorced. Right?
Okay.
Now you have a lot of women pushing marriage under various messages, you know, saying things like secure the bag, which I'm gonna speak on that. For a woman to secure the bag is for her to get married to me, right? For me to secure the bag is for me to take my ass to work, right?
Right.
The divorce rate in this country is over 50%. Over 80% of divorces are initiated by women.
Okay.
Damn near every man that has some kind of a brain knows what he stands to gain and what he stands to lose from getting married.
Okay.
So what you see happening nowadays is men are simply not entertaining the thought of getting married because we have nothing to gain.
Right. That's fine. That's fine.
Yes, that's fair.
So you
Listen.
also have to, in turn, actually that's where the woman comes in. Like I asked, are you a debit or a credit? What about you will make a man want to risk everything he's built for you?
Right. Listen, Vernon, I don't marriage shame. Marriage is not for everybody. And there are things and laws in the country. I said this at the beginning of the broadcast. I've read Men on Strike. A lot of niggas haven't. I have. I know what men gain to lose. I got the book sitting right over there on my bookshelf. Queen of the South, I thank you for coming by. If you sleep,
This woman said, she said she just met a man like that. It's a sad sight to see. What are you talking about?
I think she was talking about when I said how men can be ruined by women.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
But and shout out to Miss Jones. Thank you for coming by, man. This is what I'm saying. All men aren't gonna get married. I'm not saying you gotta get married as a man. I'm not saying that. If you decide that you don't want to be married, that it is too much of a risk, hey, who am I to judge? Don't go out here making babies, though.
Facts.
That's my issue. Got a lot of these niggas around here talking about some, I ain't get married, but they want to have kids.
Yeah.
Like,
because the laws in this country clearly say if you have a child and you are not married, you have no rights to that child. For a man.
Right.
That's what the law says. That's why they say, these women be saying it's your kid, this and that. But when men are being treated unfairly, when they want to see their kids, women say, well, fight for it. Well, if it's half mine, why do I have to fight for what's mine?
Right.
Why don't I just be able to get what's mine?
Yeah, and I get that. I feel y'all on that. It is what it is, though, when we get with some of these vindictive women. And, that's why the vetting process is so important.
Exactly, Jewel. That's exactly my point, Jewel. And that is why, that's why I said, man, that Black women, and I'm speaking to Black women because I'm a Black man. I don't give a shit about what no other race of women is doing. Black women need to get their ass in line. You are last. You are last.
So, okay, they are last, Vernon. They are, right? But this is the thing. In order for them to get better, you have people that I support, like Nicole, who is actually trying to help women get better. When they do get better and they are ready to be married, then what, Vernon?
Well, I
Because
say
we're not perfect either.
Of course we aren't, but I'm not a man. I'm not sexually interested in men. So I mean, my whole thing is, for these dudes that's not doing right, just don't fuck them. Don't be with them. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not one of those dudes that's going to tell you you should only be with Black men. Be with whoever treats you right. I don't care. I just say that, for those, women like to say that, well, these dudes don't want to do this, don't want to do that. Well, you need to do the hard part, which is finding the right one. Because
Right.
it's hard to find that right woman with no kids that has a good mindset, and you don't have to put the pistol on her because she acting like a nigga that's gonna rob you. It's just the
I hear
truth.
you, Vernon. I hear you. Chris, can you hear me, sir? Take yourself off mute. Have the feminists come and abducted you, nigga? Chris, how you doing? He can't join. We didn't know laptop or desktop. Either one, it doesn't matter. I just added him. He just left. Okay. He can do either one. I thought I heard him talk, but I guess not.
Yeah.
I'm surprised there aren't a lot of women calling me a woman hater and all this kind of other shit that I used to.
Because the women on my channel are thorough. That's why. Not only do they look nice, they got a damn head on their shoulder.
Man, one of them looked nice. I damn sure done looked at her like 2, 3 times.
Oh my god. Vernon, you trying to get chose, nigga?
You say what?
Vernon, you trying to choose, nigga?
Nah, I don't approach women. I don't have to.
Oh, so women approach you, right?
Yeah,
I,
I don't have to.
I feel your shit. I ain't mad at you. I don't hate I ain't hating. I ain't hating. Yeah, either. Yeah, he was on, but then he hopped off. Like, I
Hey,
don't
but you
know.
know what though? That's another thing that tripped me out too, man. It's like this whole thing to where like if a man was to approach a woman, they call you thirsty. How am I thirsty for admitting to you that I like you and I want to get to know you? I don't get that.
yes, it's a good point right there too.
I
Like
really don't understand that.
I don't get that.
Like if approaching a woman, they said that there has been said that that's sexual harassment. If that was the case, bro, how would any of us be here? Because our dad, at some point, especially back in the old days, you had to have approached that woman's father. There's no way around that.
That's only thirst when they're not feeling you like that. I mean, the same.
Yeah,
The
it's
same.
harassment.
Yeah,
Another
that's
dude
true.
could
Yeah,
come around.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Another
yeah,
dude could come around, say the same thing, and
yeah,
his mouthpiece was crisp, but he on point, and he bagged her. You know what I'm saying? So that's only for people she ain't interested in,
yeah,
and he thirsty
yeah,
or whatever.
Facts.
yeah. That's true. Yeah,
Facts.
yeah. You're damn right about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is only harassment when you look like a damn troll to them. Now, if you're around here and you Denzel in her eyes and shit, let's go. Let's go. But yeah, that's
Well,
a real.
Mind Slayer, in the grand scheme of things, when you fuck good, you really don't have to do none of that. To be honest with you, I mean, all those. I need a man to do this. I do that. Look, if she slip up and give you some, and you hit it right, you ain't got to worry about her saying none of that no more.
That is true too. What can I do? So, Vernon, do you think that men that don't want to be married, they should have kids?
That's a damn man. That's damn. That's a tough one right there because you know, coming from a logical standpoint and knowing what I know, I would say no
Right.
because that woman has absolute power over you with the courts, and you know that.
Right.
But at the same time, like we always say, and I hate saying this because it's common sense to know not all women will put you on child support for
Right. True.
bogus ass reasons. If you are willing to be a man and you guys had a kid or whatever, especially, if you guys are not married and y'all rocking with each other, whatever, you know, you can make a signed documents, and have them notified and shit like that, stating that I'm with this woman and any of this something happens to me, she gets XYZ. You can do that. So I don't that's a tough one. Damn. But coming from a complete logical standpoint, no. Because you can be fucked over. You shouldn't, but
All right, Chris, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, welcome to my broadcast, sir. How are you doing?
I'm all right. How you doing?
I'm good, man. I
Well, how
can't
y'all
complain.
doing? I know it's a couple people on here.
Yeah, we good. We good. So China
How
was
is
letting me
Jewel
know
doing?
Jewel,
Go ahead.
everybody
I'm
is
sorry. I'm
choosing on
sorry. Go
Jewel.
ahead. I'm just.
Jewel, y'all leave Jewel alone, damn it. Jewel, they liking you, man. They see you in the chat. They choosing on you. Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She's a cute girl.
Cute ain't always the best thing, you know.
It ain't. Mm.
I done talked to some beautiful women, but I can guarantee I wouldn't talk to them again.
yeah,
Those be the
right.
worst ones, though. Unfortunately,
They do a lot of times. A
damn.
lot of
No
times
disrespect to
nowadays, in
Jewel,
my
but
opinion,
damn.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of times nowadays, in my opinion, a lot of women, especially women who, I mean, it's just a fact that some people look better than others to certain people's
Mm-hmm.
standards.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, they have that mentality now to where love and hip hop and everything got them feeling like they should have a certain lifestyle
Mm-hmm.
when those certain people that were willing to give them that lifestyle don't want them.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
they ain't found
Mm-hmm.
that break yet. So they expecting a regular
Mm-hmm.
guy to go out here and go broke, providing that same lifestyle that they see on TV, which it ain't realistic.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what are
I
you
know a
doing
guy
to
right
provide
now,
that
man.
lifestyle for yourself?
I know a guy. Let me. I don't mean to cut you. I'm gonna say one thing. And I'm gonna shut the fuck up. I know this guy, man. Good dude, man. Good dude. Financially, his portfolio is astounding. Perfect credit score. No kids.
Close.
You know, in shape. Goes to the gym. Drive a nice ass Corvette. You know, live in a nice house. You know, this dude gave a woman 13 years, bro. 13 years. While he's out making six figures a year, she's driving to Atlanta to sleep with a nigga that's a local rapper that got three kids by three different women and he ain't married none of them. That's what they doing,
She
dog.
chasing that lifestyle. She chasing the
That's
listyle.
exactly, dog.
She not
36 years
chasing
old,
happiness. Yeah, she ain't
36 years
chasing
old,
happiness.
36 years old, still want to be the baddest bitch in Club Love.
Nah, like she not chasing it. She not trying to be happy. She trying to be fancy. She want the
Mm-hmm.
lifestyle. She wanted him because what you see on TV, entertainers,
Mm-hmm.
people like that. At some point, they might blow. They might get this, that, and the third. And all of them typically
Mm-hmm.
had the same background: two, three, four
Mm-hmm.
kids, been to jail three, four times. She don't want nobody that went to school, got a law degree, got a law
Mm-hmm.
firm. She ain't looking for him. He
They
might be
sure in the
looking for
hell
her,
ain't.
but she'll turn him down.
Mm-hmm. And until she got three kids by three different niggas.
That does happen a lot. A lot of times, those guys end up being the best stepfather in the world. Which I mean,
Hey, listen, man.
you can't help who you
This is
love,
why I
but
come in. Now, hey, I don't listen. I don't. If you come across a chick and she has one kid, I'll give you a pass. But
No, no passes from me. No, I'm
you
not raising
little
another
soy
man's
latte
kid.
niggas
Hell no.
that run around
Uh-uh.
here, like I know a dude now entertaining a chick, good money, great job. He's entertaining a chick with three kids by three different men. She ain't got a damn thing. He's sitting up here taking her serious. You the niggas that I really got a problem with. Because y'all kind of
now
see, I'll get on here on this program and I'll be like, I'll shame these chicks, but then they'll come around and tell me, well, I got such and such, and he do X, Y, Z, and I got all these kids. So what you saying, it don't matter. It's you
Bro,
goofy
you know
niggas
why
that
they
allow
say
these
that, bro?
bitches
Because
doing it.
they know that they shouldn't be with these kind of men. That's why
They
they
know that.
use
That's
that
true.
as a measuring stick
yeah,
to brag. That's why. That's bro. I don't advocate men dating single mothers under any circumstance. A widow and a divorcee is something else.
Yeah, right.
I still
Totally
would
different.
I
Totally
still
that's
wouldn't
different.
do
different.
it.
That's what
I
I meant.
agree
I
with that.
still wouldn't do it. But that's something different. I don't mind that because she jumped the broom.
Yeah,
Yep.
I take
Now
it back
these
to the
women,
mentality. It's about the mindset, man. I go
these
to the
women that just been out
mindset.
here sleeping with these, because I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen, Gabe. You're gonna meet a chick that had a kid, and 9 times out of 10, it's gonna be a thug. That's
Yeah,
just the way it is.
true.
They got. I don't know why, bro. They just got to have their baby with that damn thug. They got to do it. No, no. Let's disregard the fact that their mama tried it with their daddy and it didn't work.
Right.
Their grandmama was 39 and her mama was 20 was 30 and it didn't work for her neither. They just got to try to prove the statistics wrong. So they're gonna have a kid with a thug. Now, what's going to happen is this. This woman is going to meet you. You go to work. You handle your business. You take care of yourself. You take care of your family, whatever. This woman is going to come to you and be like, Gabe, if you're not paying this bill, if you're not doing this, if you're not taking me out every Friday, I don't want to be with you.
She can kiss my ass.
Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But then you be like, wait a minute. You just told me about this nigga that I really don't give a fuck about.
Yeah.
But when you first meet somebody, we always talk about how we get to where we are now. So the dating scene is gonna come up. You be like, wait a minute, this nigga is a 3-time felon, and you was still willing to have his baby. You was paying his phone bill. You was paying, you bought him a car and you gave him all your taxes. But when it comes to me, you telling me off the bat you ain't doing all that for me. God damn.
Yeah, that's true. That does happen a lot. But now, when it comes to, I do agree when it goes to like as far as talking to women with kids to a certain extent. I don't mind talking to a woman with kids, but it's what's her mindset. Like if your mindset was when you had your child, you were just running around, okay, like I ain't really gonna be interested in that. But if your mindset was you were trying to have a family, you were starting up, you were doing your own thing, like you weren't set out to just be like, I'm gonna sit here, have this baby, and hope for the best. Like I judge people off how they think, not necessarily what happened to them. Granted, having a baby in a lot of different instances, there's a lot of ways that can happen. Rape, it can happen by, what I'm saying, you might have been married, all these different things that can
Yeah,
come up.
I try not to get into that section because again, I know women that have had children by rape, and it sounds insensitive, but for your well-being and your peace of mind, those are chicks you should avoid.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just gonna come out and say it. You ain't gonna say it, but I'm gonna say it, dog. I don't like. Look, at first I would like to say this: if I had kids, I would be a little more lenient towards dealing with a woman with kids.
Oh, absolutely.
Because we could be a family together,
right?
Under the right circumstances.
Bingo.
But something is mentally wrong with a woman, if you ask me, and I don't care what they say about abortion, this and that. If you were raped, if you were violated, and you decided to keep that child, that's an absolute no-no. Because for one, you're agreeing to try to beat the statistics of being a single mother. You already acknowledging that your kid will never have his father there. And you're gonna say yes to that?
Yeah.
I can't do that.
On that one, that's a damn good point. That's what I'm saying. But it's just like I said, man, my whole thing is just the mentality of the woman. Like, granted, that's an extreme situation, you know what I'm saying? But like, it's just to cover our grounds, you know what I'm saying? But it's based off the mentality of the woman, the mentality of the people in the relationship, who you involved with. Like, what's this person hitting on? You know what I'm saying? Like, what they bring, like, it's everybody always looks at when people go and say what you bring to the table like it's a bad thing. But that's a good damn conversation to have.
But see, here's another thing.
I ain't trying to be out here, you know what I'm saying, covering for two people when it's a whole nother person in this relationship. Like, they ain't finna bust my ass for two people and there's another one here. Like, that's crazy.
Exactly. But see, like you said, the mentality, right?
Yeah.
This is why I don't advocate men dating single mothers at all, because I'm going to give you a common example, which is going to further my argument against the mentality. Look at Sierra and Russell Wilson. What did Sierra do? Fuck nothing but industry thug ass niggas. What did she do? She went and got that one good guy, Russell Wilson.
She squared the fuck
up.
Told Russell Wilson,
you couldn't even have picked a better scenario.
Hold on. Wait a minute. She went and got Russell Wilson. Very good dude. Phenomenal athlete. Hall of Fame player. Guaranteed. Yeah,
he's going to
made him wait for sex. Told him what he not going to be doing with her. This and that. Got married. Now, what do you think that shows of the women? That puts in their mind, I can fuck Future. I can fuck 50 Cent. Now, this was before 50 Cent was a businessman. I can fuck 50 Cent. I can fuck with Lil Wayne, these thug ass niggas. The only difference between Sierra and the common everyday woman is Sierra was a millionaire without Russell Wilson. The average woman cannot say that.
True.
So that's why on one side of the spectrum, you know, she's a single mother. I'm not advocating for that, but she has the resources to still provide for her kids. Whereas these common day, everyday people, they do not have that. So, like I said, it goes to the mentality where these women can be like, damn, I can fuck JoJo. I
Yeah.
can fuck Bigger Brim. I can fuck these dudes. Some dude is going to come along and still be a father to my kids. That has not worked in the Black community, dog. My method is a little bit extreme. I know y'all won't agree with how I feel. I feel like if you're a single mother, if shit like that, you should be exiled. Just like when you breeding dogs, those are like pit bulls and shit like that. The aggressive breeds, they kill them. They breed them out. When they won't listen to their master and shit like that, they kill them and they breed them out. That's what we need to do. All these people that believe in single mothers, ain't nothing wrong with it. All these dudes that so happy to be stepdads and shit like that. You know, under certain circumstances. Because like I said,
I ain't gonna
you
say
had
that
kids.
now. Yeah, because like I don't have kids of my own. But shit, I love my little girl. You know what I'm saying? Like that's to me, that's my daughter. You feel
Well,
me?
okay,
Granted,
so,
it's a different, it's an
wait a minute,
extreme
wait.
situation.
So, Chris, you saying you have a stepdaughter?
Yeah.
Are you married?
Not yet. I don't really give a damn about marriage. Like the whole thing with marriage to me is legal. I'm a person where what are we really doing? The whole legal aspect, yeah, cool, whatever. That's fine, but what are we really
China,
doing?
that is not true. That is not true. This is how a lot of you women get absolutely destroyed when your husband or the man you have.
Wait a minute. Wait. China
How
said legal marriage guarantees nothing. That's a lie. It guarantees a
That
lot
is
for
a
the
lie.
woman.
legal
It
marriage
guarantees a lot for the
That
woman.
guarantees a
I didn't
shit
say
ton for the woman.
I didn't say I won't get married. I said I'm
Okay.
currently not. I plan to get married. I didn't say I'm against
Okay.
it.
I got you. No, I hear you.
All I'm
I
saying
hear you.
is people
I
get
just
married.
found it a little unique
Nah,
that you
people,
were her
people
daughter already.
people get married every day, and people get divorced 2 weeks later, a month later. People have publicity marriages all day, but
True.
it don't mean nothing. So what does it mean? Like, what are you really doing? That's what I'm saying. I'm about the background behind it. I don't care nothing about what people see.
In theory, marriage is a great thing, you know, but that theory has been so diluted and watered down.
Exactly. It's not like it's not like marriage has 100% proven we gonna be together forever. Like, what's the divorce rate? Like 40-some%, something crazy like that.
Exactly, skin like caramel.
So I basically, when I get married, I got a half a chance. It's like it might halfway last me the rest of my life. What's
exactly?
So that's what
and
I'm
also
saying about
remember
what
that
are we
80% of the chance women are initiating a divorce because they know they have a lot to gain and a little bit of nothing to lose.
And now with those same women at the same time, it's just like I don't see. I'm like, how do you say this in a way that's not? Well, I don't really care. But when it comes to women, it's like, hell, what do you want? Because at the end of the day, all the decision when it comes to a marriage is based on the woman. It's not like the man just going to say we're going to get married today. You got to go through the process. You have to ask the woman. You have to talk to the woman about it. And you ask them, ask her father, talk to her, talk to people in the family.
If she knows
like
her father.
True, which a lot of like hell, I didn't really know mine, so hell.
Chris, did the Simps abduct you, nigga? The Simps came and got Chris. Okay, listen, and let me clear what I said earlier. I said, if a woman has maybe one child, might give a dude a pass. What I mean by that is if that woman has been divorced or widowed, totally different. Okay. Y'all know me. I've been consistent with my message from day one. We at single moms you can have fun with them. But as far as dating them, no, wait a minute. No, that's not true. We don't like difference of opinion. That's not true. You can have a difference of opinion. A difference of opinion is welcome. And Chris can come back. I just think his connection dropped. I didn't kick him out of the room. China, you're more than welcome to get on if you want. Like, we can go back and forth. It is what it is. I'm going to add Chris back. But I do want to go on record and say that, listen, if she's a widow or divorcee, it's different. At least she had enough damn sense to get married first. But you chicks just letting dudes nutting y'all and having kids bound, y'all need to go find y'all some men with kids. I said that on my broadcast with Kiera. That you dudes that got kids, y'all need to you women that got kids, y'all need to find dudes that got kids. Period. I'm not gonna come up off that. And dudes that don't have kids, women that don't have kids, y'all need to get with one another. Y'all understand each other a little bit better. It's hard for a man that doesn't have kids to relate to a chick that does.
That's
Y'all
why
live
I
in
said
two
that,
different
if I
worlds.
had a kid, I would be a little more open to dating a woman with kids because, we can understand each other versus I don't have kids, right? I have a passport and my money is not funny by no means. I can get the fuck up and go wherever I want to go right now. If you was at home and I was the car, just want to be like, hey, look, put some clothes, I'm coming to get you or whatever, you got to say, I got to find a babysitter. That by itself immediately cuts into all the time we get to spend together.
Yeah. China is fighting the women in the chat. That's funny. China, be nice. Be nice, China. All right, Chris, what were you saying before the simps came and cut your damn internet off?
Mm.
Can you hear me, Chris?
Chris is on an episode of the X-Files.
Man, the single moms came and cut his shit off. They said they want Chris for his damn self, for their damn selves. Chris, can you hear me? We'll just keep chopping it up. Yeah, he dropped off again. Frank, what do you have to say about that as far as like what we just discussed with the kids and everything and dating and all that? What do you think about that? Do you think single moms should just stick with single fathers? Do you shame men that don't have kids for dating single mothers? What do you think about that? Frank, can you hear me?
No, he's probably off doing something.
He probably so. Let me see me add Chris back. Hold on.
Somebody can't shame me for not dating single mothers because I'm not ashamed of it.
Man, nah, I don't, man. Dude, I've tried it over and over again. Shit's trash. I'm just gonna be real.
You can say whatever you
Chris,
want to
can
say,
you
you know what I mean? I'm one of those type of dudes, man, that believes I believe that a child needs their father. I don't give a damn how shitty of a person he is. You made a conscious decision to have that baby with him. He should be able to see his child whenever he pleases. It's not right for you to try to limit and control how he spends time with his child. I don't agree with that. So that alone would cause a lot of friction between me and whatever woman that got kids, because I would tell her, if you got another man on child support, you need to take him off that shit. If you with me, you don't need his money.
Okay, I like
Period.
that. Let me add right back in. I'm gonna wrap this up. We've been going about 2 hours. I'm gonna go down the list. I'm gonna ask a couple questions, and we'll be out of here. Frank, can you hear me? Can you hear me, Frank?
Probably gone.
He just got back in. Chris, can you hear me? I ain't hear nobody. Could be
You ain't got no luck, player.
China, ain't nobody shaming you, China. Be nice to my women in the chat.
Can't shame her if she ain't got nothing to be ashamed of.
These are some sweet women, okay, China? Just like you are a sweet young lady of Christ. Be nice. Hold on, I got a private chat.
Be nice to George.
Okay, Chris. Chris, say something. I mean, can you talk? Because I mean, you're in the chat, and I've added you to the broadcast. China said they like shaming her.
How can you shame her if she got nothing to be ashamed of?
Frank, can you hear me? Okay. All right, I'm gonna wrap this up, man. We've been here long enough. Been here 2 hours chopping it up. It's been fun. Vernon,
what's up?
I'm glad you came and hopped on, bro.
Really?
I'm glad you came and hopped on. I am, man. Give me some last words, man.
On what, basically?
Anything we've discussed. Give me your final thoughts on men being submitted to.
Um, I just feel like that's just something that's either in the woman or it's not. You know what I mean? That's not something you can train because it's her choice to want to follow that man. You know what I mean? Now, if you follow the wrong man, that's one thing. But like
Okay.
somebody here said already, they're gonna do what they want to do. So with that being put on display for everybody in the chat, if you decide you want to follow the wrong man, you are gonna be the one that is gonna be responsible to pick up the pieces after that. So it all boils down to your choices. I don't feel like a man's financial status um, is. Is the end all be all to a woman submitting to him. I feel like that's just basically a game that women will use to try to, you know, um, they will use that as to why they're dysfunctional and why they're obstinate in XYZ when that's not the case. Because if that was the case, how do y'all have all these kids by these thugs? This dude ain't got a bunch of money. Then they'll say, well, I was young. Well, you need to stay young. Versus stepping into the adult dating game where you're going to use all these excuses and schemes and phrases to try to, mask why the fuck you're a dysfunctional, obstinate person. Finances has nothing to do with it, man. And
Mhm.
no, a man paying your bills has that just comes from women that don't want to put nothing into the relationship, dog. When they pushing that notion that you should be able to pay my bills. If I can pay your bills, why don't I just pay my bills?
Right. Okay.
I pay
Okay.
my own
And
damn bills. Why I need to pay yours?
and so a woman taking care of your home is not contributing in your eyes, right?
I'm not saying that, but bro, it takes you have to. I know this. There are a very small sector of women that come from that prototype, that come from, that mold. Those women right there, they're 9 times out of 10 already taken, or they're so scarce that they're so hard to find that all we're left with is the obstinate motherfuckers. Now, in a perfect scenario, if you have a man that's can handle his business, you know, and pays all the bills and things like that, that is great. That is great. If he can afford that and he can do it.
Okay.
But for you to be coming to the door talking about this what you need to do, this what you need to do, you know,
Yeah, I don't
how can
need
you
that.
say that when you got a kid with bigger brim?
Okay.
How can you say that to me?
All right.
You can say all day, well, people can change. Yeah, people can change, but I'm gonna still have to look at that kid you had with that garbage ass nigga. That's not changing.
Okay. Okay. All right. And what about women with no kids?
Women with no kids, man, if you on your square and you pass the test of a man, you know what I mean? And if he decides to do that for you, he decides he don't want you going out there busting your ass and working, that's great. You know what I mean? I'm with that 100%. If that's what he chooses to do.
All right. We're on the
I'm with
same
that
Yeah,
page.
but see
100%.
though, but I think the problem come in when a woman go and get goes and she finds a man that doesn't want that, and then she wants it from that man. So that's when they
That
gonna have
comes
problems.
that comes back from what the brother said about women being honest with themselves. Women are
Yeah,
not stupid.
yeah, true.
Women like
That
to
what,
say,
yeah,
black women like to say they're the most educated. If you're the most educated, you should be able to deduce that this dude is not willing to give you that, so you need to
yeah,
act accordingly.
Right.
yeah. A lot of
That
times,
goes back
I
to the
feel
brother.
like people going, they get with somebody based, they look at them, he give them a good time, but then they try and move forward with somebody that really ain't for them. Like people show you
Exactly.
who they are, but people try
Hmm.
and look past who people show them who they are when they people show them who they are and think they can go and change this person. When that's who he is. If that's who he is, then leave him alone and go find you somebody that's gonna give you what you want. It ain't nothing wrong with wanting for somebody to take care of all the bills and all that, but
Hmm.
don't get somebody that don't want to do that. Cause I don't
Hmm.
really want to do that. That ain't really my thing. I don't
And they
believe
want
in
to
going.
change.
I
They
look
want
at
to
it like,
change you.
why would I go and bust my ass and have to work till I'm 50, 60 years old and have somebody in my house for 50, 60 years that ain't did shit when I could have damn near worked for half of that time if both of us would have just did some work. Like hell no, I ain't finna. I don't want to be old, gray, tired as hell, broke down
And
depending
I
on
can
what
feel where you
somebody's
coming
job
from.
is.
I
You know
can
Okay.
what I'm
feel where
saying?
you coming from because at the end of the day, man, people, like I said, people need to be honest, bro. Even if this woman works 15 hours a week and puts $200 in the house times 12, that's $2,400. That's pressure off me.
Yep.
Okay. I'm
That's
gonna
gonna
address
cover
this in my
some a
closing
trip
statement.
or something. Everybody want to
I'm
go
a,
somewhere. Everybody want to do something. So like
I, I'm
contribute
gonna
to it.
address it in my closing statement. I appreciate you for saying that, Vernon. Chris, give me some last words. Give me your final thoughts.
Man, I feel the main thing. I was on listening to it earlier. The main thing people just need to be honest with who they are. Be honest with who you are. Be honest with what you
Hmm.
want. And if that's what you choose to stand on, those are your principles. Then don't go and get somebody that don't want what you want. Like
Hmm.
that's the biggest problem with every relationship to me. If you get in a relationship with somebody, if you want a thug, then deal with what you want from a thug. Don't go and get you a lawyer just because he look good, and then you want him to whoop your ass because he ain't gonna do it.
Right.
Don't get you somebody that's gonna whoop your ass and expect him to treat you like a lawyer, and you'll be all right.
Right.
Go and
Hmm.
deal with what you want, and accept who you want to be, accept who you are, and you'll be all right. In the end of the day.
Chris, do you still want full submission from your woman if she's going half on everything or taking some of the quote unquote pressure off of you? Should she fully submit to you still?
I don't give a damn about submission. I want respect. Respect me as
So
a man. Respect me for who I am.
respect
The
and
whole
submission
submission
go hand
shit,
in hand.
Exactly.
I don't put that. I don't put that the same. Submission to me is like saying I have a dog. I don't want a damn Barbie. I want somebody to have an opinion, to be able to
Mm.
formulate a
Just
thought to
because
where I
just
don't have to
because she
sit there and
submits
think
to you
all the
doesn't
time.
mean that she doesn't have an opinion.
Well,
Women cannot
my
submit to
definition
you
of
if they don't
submission.
respect you.
Well, you know how you say your definition of certain things might be extreme. To me, my definition of submission is extreme. So I
Oh,
don't
okay.
look at submission in the extent to where it's like you still have a say. To me, you don't have nothing when you become submissive to me, to the extent to where like I heard you all saying as far as like the Bible and how
Mm-hmm.
things were and how things all of that. Women didn't have nothing. They couldn't do nothing. Only thing you could do as a woman was have a baby, cook, clean, and be ready to have sex to have another baby. That's basically all women did. So I don't really want that. I might as well have a blow up doll at that point because it's like I mean I get a blow up doll made. I ain't got to deal with nobody's complaining, no whining, no arguing. And I mean, hell, what's the point of having a woman? Like I want to have somebody I can actually have a dialogue with, and it's not like hell everything is just like you do this, 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 and this. That's boring to me. That's like having a robot.
I feel you. Okay. Frank, you here? You here,
Frank
Frank?
off Frank with his wife, man.
Yeah, Frank, he bounced.
He's stunting on us, man. He's with his wife.
Chris, you were raised by a single mom, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm.
I know you had your dad in your life, Ernest, so I ain't gonna ask you.
Better believe it.
All right, gentlemen, I appreciate y'all. Chris, make sure you subscribe to my channel if you have not. I would love to have you back on again to have this discussion. But my audience is getting a little tired. I know they're ready to go to bed, and niggas got to go to work in the morning. So I'm about to get my last closing thoughts, man. I appreciate you for coming by. I really do. Vernon, same to you, my guy. I appreciate you for coming by.
I
Let's
see
do this
Nicole
again
Michelle is in here. Nicole,
soon.
hey boo.
Oh my God. All right, Vernon.
All right, my dog.
All right. Frank, I think Frank done got abducted. All right, guys. Very good program. We had actually had quite a few people tune in, and I expect the numbers to be pretty good on here. So I do want to thank everybody for coming by. I appreciate you all for listening. If you would like, before you leave, I would like for you guys to go here, donate to paypal.me/ultimateblackman. That is paypal.me/ultimateblackman. You can also donate here at the Cash App $ultimate blackman. That is Cash App $ultimate blackman. Okay, here are my final thoughts. Should a man does a man have to pay for a woman to submit to him? And the answer to that question is yes. Okay. we have, thanks to feminism and toxic femininity, and dusty niggas and bombs and soy latte ass niggas, we have gender roles have been reversed and confused. Okay, we have too many masculine women running around here doing too much, and we have too many feminine men running around here demanding so much from their women. Okay, when a woman submits to you, that woman respects you. A woman that does not respect you will never submit to you. And submission does not mean that she's a dumbass or she doesn't have her own thoughts or she's a brainless bimbo. All submission means is that she is trusting you to lead her and the legacies that you two have created. It's simple as that. A lot of you niggas are running around here wanting a woman to submit to you, and you're going 50-50 just because you have a penis. Just because you have a penis does not mean a woman should submit to you. Just because you fuck good does not mean a woman should submit to you. Submission is earned, not given. Submission is earned. It is not given. This is why y'all always complain about these women. They run over here to these white men or they submit to their boss, but they submit because they are paying. They are earning the submission. Okay? They are earning the cooperation. And we live in this world where the gender roles are so confused. See, this is why we have so much dysfunction in society, over here in Black society, because we don't want to respect and honor these gender roles. All these women want to see, like I said, I've been there before where the woman, she doesn't want to submit to me. That's because she wants to have the final say so. A lot of you niggas, y'all got these chicks in your homes. They're paying half the rent. You niggas become mathematicians when the rent come due and the light bill come due and when the groceries come due. Y'all want to get up here. Y'all want to be mathematicians and specialists in calculus. And you wonder why these chicks don't respect you. You're wondering why she's fucking your boss. Yeah, I said that. You're wondering why she's fucking your boss. You're sitting here asking her to pay half the damn rent. And you're wondering why she's giving head to your best friend. See, you niggas got the game messed up. Submission cost. Period.
Facts.
We can sit here and play these little semantics all we want to, but I'm not going to sit here and do that on this channel. I'm not saying you got to sit up here and pay every single little thing. Yeah, I mean, a woman should contribute in what way she can. If she has a side hustle or a side business, great. If she wants to put money up for vacations, great. But and Chris, I appreciate him for coming on. But he says, why should I work 60 years and she's at home doing shit? Let me explain something to you. If you sit up here, you see, y'all want to nut up in these chicks and then you don't want to take any responsibility. If I'm sitting up here making babies with my wife, the least I can do is offer her the opportunity to stay home and raise my kids. That should be an option for her. I'm giving the solution now, China. That should be an option for her.
Can you hear me now, Gabe?
Yeah, I can hear you now, Frank. Yes, sir. I'm gonna give you closing thoughts in just a second.
All right, back.
See, let me explain something to you. The reason George Zimmerman can run up in the communities and shoot our children is because see, we got all this gender role confusion mess going on over here. See, the cops can come in and beat the children's ass and beat the women's ass because you got the men sitting over here. The men looking for protection too, just like the women with their little thong sandal wearing ass. All this stuff about this 50-50 and who gonna pay bills and all that, I try not to dwell on that so much because we have enough confusion over here. But since China's talking about solutions, I just gave it, but I'll say it again. A man needs to protect and provide for his family. A woman needs to submit to her man. And a woman should be given the option to stay home and care for her children. All this confusion we got going on, that's why we're able to be taken advantage of by the dominant society. Because we got too many manlets running around here splitting rent with they nigga. And we got too many soft, moist Negroes looking at the woman when the rent due. Talking about, so you owe me 50 cents so it can be equal. A woman staying at home raising the children and providing what she can, whether it's a stay-at-home business or just a part-time job, that doesn't mean she's at home not doing shit. So I hope we have a clear understanding of that. I know y'all don't like to hear about the traditional way of doing things, but when we were doing things the traditional way, our homes were a lot happier and our communities were a lot more solid. Black Wall Street wasn't made because it was a whole bunch of single mother bastard baby makers. It just wasn't. Frank, go ahead. I'll give you your last word, brother.
All right, bet. I just want to say thanks, man, for having me on. You know how we do here, Ultimate Black Man Radio. You know what I mean? The brother, when he said that, it kind of, it took me back for a minute because, my wife being at home and taking care of my children, man, is that's one of the, that's one of the greatest jobs on this planet. You know what I mean? Like, I value that, and I value it so much so, that I go hard every day so that she can do that. You know what I mean? Because I value my legacy, I value my lineage, and I value putting her in the right space and in the right place, physically and emotionally for her to be able to do that to the best of her ability. You know what I mean? And so we just, we're out of order, man, as people. You know what I mean? We don't understand why we're at the bottom, economically. One of the main reasons why is because our family structure is out of order. You know what I mean? So we're living in dysfunction, and then we're trying to justify as we go. We're trying to reinvent the wheel as we go and explain it away, and it doesn't work like that. Just like you said, it may be an old school way of thinking, but it works, man. It works when a feminine woman is with a masculine man and they complement one another. We are not equal. We are not the same. No two things on this planet are equal to each other. The goal is not for us to be equal, but for us to complement one another. I can't do well. Could I do what a woman does? Yeah, but I don't want to. That's why I have a woman. You know what I mean? To do it. You know what I mean? And can my wife do what I do? If she had to in a pinch, of course she could, but she don't have to. She shouldn't have to because I'm here. You know what I mean? And so we got to get back to that. And we got to hold each other accountable. We have to hold ourselves accountable and do what we need to do for each other, man. You know what I mean? Because there's no other way. I don't care. Feminism ain't going to work. MGTOW ain't going to work. Red pill ain't going to work. Save yourself, black men. That ain't going to work. You know what I mean? Until we understand, look, that we need each other, but, we have to vet. Obviously, I'm not saying go out here and do all of that for somebody who's not worth it, but you got to vet. You got to be smart. And if that woman is showing you, if she's lining up and she's feminine and she's with your program and she's willing to compliment you and support you, then you need to take care of that woman, man. You need to put her in an environment where she can do that to the best of her ability. You know what I mean? And if you do that, we can come up out of this rut, man. But at the end of the day, that's the foundation of it, man. We're weak out here in this world because our family structure is weak. Our ability to love and respect one another and compliment one another is weak. You know what I mean? And we're not gonna come up until we turn that weakness into a strength.
Well said, Frank. China, I have to get you on one of these days. Me and you can discuss this. I know we were supposed to do a show over the new year, but ended up getting busy. I'll inbox you so we can discuss this because she says that we're biased. And I'd like to discuss that bias. So, but right now we've been on 2.5 hours. I know we got to get to work in the morning. We got to, pay them bills so we can trick off. I know at least that's what I do with my money. I trick it off on single moms and strippers and hoes and video games. So That's what I'm gonna be going to work for. But this has been good. I actually enjoyed the panel. I enjoyed the discussion. I'm glad people were able to come on. This was a really good show, and we had a really good crowd. So until next time, UBM, we signing out. Ashe to everybody. I just pray that God, blesses everyone, that we have a great rest of the week. I want everyone to be productive. Y'all stay focused, and I may come back Thursday or something and hit y'all with some more games. So I appreciate everybody. Y'all be blessed.
All right, peace. Good night.